From the frozen tundra to your airwaves, it's time for 9 to noon.
John Kuhn and touchdown Packers.
The ultimate midday hangout for Packers talk, Wisconsin sports, and everything in between. He's a Super Bowl champion.
Underneath, Kuhn for the touchdown.
A Green Bay legend.
Look at John Kuhn run for the first down and keep it going. Moving the pile all the way to the 6-yard line.
And Lambeau's favorite fullback, John Kuhn. He's bringing the heat, the humor, and just the right amount of chaos. Rami Makloff. Together, they're breaking it all down, debating every angle, and having a little fun while doing it. This is 9 to noon on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
9 to noon, that's how long we'll be on today. I'm not sure if John wants to even pretend that I am filling in for him on this show, but guess what? This is what happens when you name your show the time slot. Tommy Wirtz here with you alongside me for the first hour today. You just heard him. He starred in The Old Grinch. It is Trevor Thomas. What's going on, Trevor?
What's up? I'm just going to hang out for one more hour. This is now your show. It's the Tommy Christmas special.
Yeah.
I'll be back here, I don't know, watching YouTube or something. Just let me know. Oh, we're live on YouTube. Look at us.
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, what? Why not? Why not? Right? I have no worries, no issues about it. We have 3 hours here left local. Then we're going to have a nice little best of the Mason Crosby show coming up today. It's awesome. Merry Christmas to everyone. Do you do Christmas both days? You do Christmas tomorrow? What's up with you?
This year we're doing Christmas all 4 days in a row. We have Christmas tonight at my in-laws, and usually we do a gift exchange tonight. This year it got bumped to Saturday because my brother-in-law has to work, which is normal. We do this. We'll move it from time to time. It was much more difficult to do that when our kids were young, but nonetheless, they're older now. We're less in terms of all the things, but yeah, we have Christmas tonight, in-laws, and then we'll wake up in our own home tomorrow morning for Christmas morning. We'll go to church, then we'll head to my mom's in Watertown, stop by my dad's in Jefferson, so I'm back in southeast Wisconsin tomorrow. Then back home Christmas night because my wife has to work on Friday. And then we have a White Elephant gift exchange on Friday night, and then the OG gift exchange on Saturday, which, by the way, for Friday night and Saturday both, there's 7 gifts I got to buy. Not a single one is in my house yet.
So you guys actually did me a huge favor last week, somewhere around there. You, in the 8 o'clock hour, I want to say on like the 18th, or maybe it was the 19th, you guys were having the epiphany of Amazon carts are not going to make it by. And I was listening on my way into work, and I was like, oh, God, I definitely have stuff in my cart. I got to go check. And sure enough, one of my items was only not going to make it by Christmas. And I was like, all right, delete it and buy right there. Like, as I'm there, I'm like, I'm not going to have that be a problem. Just spend the money, whatever. It'll come back. White Elephant, you guys do like a traditional pick a card, pick an order. You want your gift, you swap it. What's going on with your White Elephant?
Well, so we have 2 different ones. The one White Elephant is Friday night at a friend's house. We've known these families, the entire kid school. I mean, we're talking 9-10 years, some a little bit more. So this is the first year we're getting together with this crew around Christmas and doing a White Elephant. There are very few rules.
Okay.
I believe it's $20 to $25. It's supposed to be funny, and it's PG-13 or younger in terms of gift, because all the kids will be there. I mean, listen, some of these White Elephants get completely out of hand.
Yeah.
More power to you. Can't have this one. On Saturday, this game that we play for the gift exchange at my in-laws is, dare I say, the best game ever.
Okay.
We've been doing it for 20 years, I think. We buy 3 $10 gifts, 2 $20 gifts, and 1 $60 gift. And we wrap them all in the same paper. When I say we wrap them, I mean somebody else wraps my gift in the same paper. I hate that so much.
I hate wrapping gifts.
Terrible at it. I'm probably gonna have to try and do this one on my own.
I'm a bag guy.
Late.
Yeah, just take the bag. I give it to you. And
the whole idea is that they're all in the same. You ultimately lose track of your own gift.
Right.
They all get mixed up. They all get numbered, and then we put numbers in envelopes, and that's where we pick an envelope. We open that gift. If you have to have it, everybody starts with an "It's Mine" sticker, and if you got to have it, you got to slap that "It's Mine" sticker on there right away, and then you get to take it out of the game and take it home with you. If not, you set it in front of you, and then there are stealing rules. A gift can only be stolen 3 times. And you need to buy things that you would want. None of this, like, no gift cards allowed. You actually have to think about it and go shopping and, put gifts in, and then the exchanging at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, sometimes the exchanges in the early years were contested, to say the least. Hot and heavy a little bit.
Call in 414-677-1250. That's the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. Your best white elephants, best games you play at Christmas. I have a new one every year, it feels like, Trevor. And just when you find a good one, they're like, let's change it. We need to do something different. I do everything today. So tomorrow is just casual. What day of the week is it? Thursday?
I think so.
It's just whatever. You have no obligations. I probably, if I wore an Apple Watch, would take 40 steps. Like, that's what tomorrow is supposed to be. And that's the luxury I have. I have the big Christmas, like 6 o'clock, I think, which feels so late this year compared to other years. And then I have to go to my mom's side after that. And we do a little gift exchange there. I got some pretty awesome gifts. I know she doesn't listen, my niece. My niece apparently getting really into science all of a sudden. I have no idea why, but she's smart. She's 10. She does her thing. And so I got her like a girl's first science kit kind of thing, like blowing up a volcano stuff, whatever it is. So I am trying to say that if my niece does grow up and become a doctor, I got her first science kit, like ride the wave with that. When I told that to my mom, she's like, yeah, I got her fake nails. So just don't like one of two paths is coming that way. It is a very Wisconsin sports Christmas special here during the 9 to noon hours. John Kuhn, Rami Makloff, Brandon Snide, all out. Thanks to Trevor Thomas for hanging around for an hour with me. Call in. Tell us about your Christmas specials, your Christmas traditions. I'm sure it'll get pretty wonky once 10 to noon comes. Mitch Thundernell is going to join me from Florida, 30A. That's what I was going to say. That's where he hangs out during all of this.
He's in Florida?
Yeah. Mitch Nellis goes to Florida every year during this time. They have a family house down there. Yeah, I know.
Winning.
Right. He's just, and this year we hooked him up with a Comrex. So last year he was just off. And this year now he gets to go down there and get paid to be down there.
No vacation for you.
Yeah, like he's doing all right. He was offering it. He was fine.
Awesome.
Gets take a couple hours to get away from the family. I hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas. We will not be on the air tomorrow or on the 26th, but we'll be live all day until noon, all morning.
If Sparky's listening, here's his warning right now. Sparky's the boss. If the Packers win this weekend or if the Lions lose tomorrow night, I'm off on the 2nd. Because that game that weekend doesn't matter. So thank you in advance for filling in for me on the 2nd, Tommy.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I got a text already. What are you doing on the 2nd?
Merry Christmas to you. My gift to you is a fill-in slot on the 2nd. You're welcome. And if the Packers don't win and the Lions win, well, then I have to work.
Yeah, right. Yeah, keep it all together. Did you
Usually I'm off between Christmas and New Year's. This is the first year in like literal decade plus that I'm not off from this moment until the new year.
Ooh, good for you.
So it's a big change for me. And I know that sports radio, specifically in the end of the NFL season, like that's not a time you're supposed to take off.
Yeah.
You take off in the middle of the summer when the Brewers are in the 9-game road trip on the West Coast.
Oh, dude, those are my favorite. Those weeks right there. August when there's nothing going on, or maybe even late July, right? It's just no one else could care about baseball in the world, and I'm just all in on the casual nature of what's going on in the moment. The Green Bay Packers this weekend, Saturday, playing the Baltimore Ravens, coming off the most heartbreaking loss that they could possibly have imagined
ever
against the Chicago Bears. And now they have to gear up with maybe Jordan Love, maybe Malik Willis, maybe everyone. And instead,
you ever heard of Clayton Tune?
Clayton Tune.
Yeah, me neither.
I think that one of them's going to play, Trevor. I'm really not worried about it. In fact, I think we would have heard a practice squad signing by now, in my opinion, if they were not confident it was going to be Jordan Love or Malik Willis. But Trevor, until the Packers are clinched, I think they have to not force is not the right word, but very much hope that it's Jordan Love and not Malik Willis. And I know a lot of people say that they are confident with Malik Willis going out there. Some people saying, hey, rest Jordan Love, want to see him healthy and at 100% down the stretch for this team. But Trevor, they are in no position in my mind to lollygag right now. And I need them to avoid limping into the postseason. And I would love to just see Jordan Love not have to play week 18 because he dominates and wins in week 17.
The way you don't limp into the postseason is that you take advantage if you're already in the postseason.
Right.
So if we play on Saturday and we know that we're already in the postseason because the Lions lost tomorrow night, then I say sit Jordan Love and start Malik Willis and let him get fully healthy, whether it's his dome after the helmet-to-helmet hit and the concussion or his shoulder or whatever the case may be. Same goes for Josh Jacobs. The odds of the Packers winning the division and getting the number 2 seed, I believe, are outweighed by the health of this team going into the playoffs with the 7 seed. And maybe that's the question. Would you rather, this is what we do on Wednesdays on Inside Wisconsin Sports in the morning. Would you rather get healthy and take the 7 seed or risk more injury in an attempt to get the 2 seed? In my opinion, this is my would you rather. I would rather take the 7 seed and go into the playoffs healthy instead of chasing what seemingly is an untouchable, unachievable number 2 seed that you need a lot of help to get.
If the Lions lose on Christmas, this whole argument's destroyed. All right. I will say that. If this Lions team loses and Green Bay has a playoff spot clinched, the 2 seed to me is very so-so. I don't have any strong emotions for it. But if it's going to be the Lions win on Christmas and then the Packers win this weekend and then the Bears lose to the 49ers, yeah, then go all in on it for next week. I think so.
Lay out that scenario for me, would you please? How do we win? We as the Packers, unapologetic we guy, get out of me.
Nice.
How do we win the 2 seed? What all has to happen?
It is the Bears lose to, the Packers win to. That's it. That's simple, boss. And so the Bears.
And the Lions have nothing to do with that?
The Lions play the Bears the final week of the season. The Lions, however, would be eliminated from the postseason with a Packers victory. That's it. So the Packers can knock the Lions out of the postseason this weekend. If the Lions lose or the Packers win, the Lions are out. Packers are in, guaranteed. Now, if the Lions ever had an opportunity to knock a team out of the postseason with no goal for them by any means during all of this, I would assume that they would still take advantage of it based on 2022 and the last game of Aaron Rodgers' career, Trevor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Truth.
So what really I believe is going to happen is that the Lions are going to make this as tough as possible. And
they're good at that.
And I would love to see the Packers do the same. And let's see if the Bears are that good. Trevor, I still don't think the Bears are that good. I really don't, man. And the Packers, with a very beat up team, should have won the ball game, Trevor.
Josh has been saying this all year, and he's dead right. The only team that can beat the Packers are the Packers.
Yeah.
You look at the loss to Chicago, we beat ourselves. You look at the loss to Denver, we beat ourselves. The Browns, the Panthers, beat ourselves. I mean, the list isn't that terribly long where a few corrections and we end up not beating ourselves. We win the game because we definitely weren't beat by the other teams in those specific losses. We're 9-5-1. Is that right, Tommy?
Yeah.
Browns, Bears, Broncos, Panthers. Why can't I think of the other loss?
Browns, Bears, Broncos, Panthers.
I don't know.
What is it? Eagles.
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 Oh, and they're dog. You know what?
Yeah,
all of a sudden, too.
Yeah.
So I think you're right. I don't think the Bears are that great. I think they're definitely going to be put to the test. I absolutely think if the Lions have the opportunity to ruin the Bears, they will. They're really good at that. And so to your point, right? Like there's a chance that after tomorrow night, the Lions know that they're out. The Packers are in. And I think, Tommy, we have just as good of a chance to win with Emmanuel Wilson and Malik Willis as we do with Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs. Now, hear me out. This is a not completely healthy Jordan Love or Josh Jacobs.
Right.
I don't care if Malik Willis is banged up. I don't care if Emmanuel Wilson has a turf toe or something, which I don't know if he does, by the way. I'm just saying, if we're going to pick and choose who we're going to play banged up, it's going to be the latter, not those first two cats.
Trevor, I might be getting out on Josh Jacobs. I might be
As a whole?
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude, I know. And that's just from production. And I continue to say this every time I talk about him. I understand that he is the leader of this team, one of the biggest leaders on this team. And he is very, it is reminding me of McGill gets hurt for the Brewers. And then when the postseason comes around, Abner Uribe has had such a great fill-in role that Abner's going to assume duties and McGill is going to be best utilized wherever they need the leader the most, right? And so when McGill was somewhat benched because of his injury, he came in Game 5, and it was the most important inning of the entire series. The Cubs had scored in the first inning of every single one of those games, and they trusted Trevor McGill to go down, lock it down. Brewers get the lead. Brewers win the game. We all know the story.
Mm-hmm.
With Josh Jacobs, I think Emmanuel Wilson has played better down the stretch right now.
Yeah, but Emmanuel Wilson's been healthy, and we can't hold that against Jacobs. He dinged up his knee at the Giants. What was that, 6-7 weeks ago?
Sure. I knew what you were going to.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You just wanted to say that.
I think Josh Jacobs has been playing and pushing through a significant injury. I mean, I don't know if you've ever had a bone bruise, but a bone bruise on your knee of all places.
Right.
Ouchie wawa.
Yeah, and that's why I would love to just see Emmanuel Wilson get a shot. He's stepped up in all of these moments he's been asked to, it feels like, when he is getting the full keys to the Ferrari, right?
But so too has Josh Jacobs if he's healthy. Josh Jacobs is second in the NFL in rushing touchdowns right now.
Yeah, because he is a weapon in the red zone. A la pitching in the first inning, Trevor McGill.
I don't know if you've seen the red zone lately for the Packers, but we could use whatever weapons. And honestly, he's hurt. I mean, let's be real. He's injured for almost all circumstance.
And as a leader, you should recognize that in my mind.
Well, yeah, especially, listen, Rich Bisaccia and the way that onside kick went down. Take Romeo Doubs out of it for just a second, even though I know that's impossible. Look at the other dudes on the field that were supposed to block for Romeo Doubs, and look at one in particular who wears the number 8, who hadn't been in there for any carries at all in the second half, and all of a sudden he's back on the field on the hands team. That's a position that I want Josh Jacobs to go, hey, I should probably sit this one out.
Yeah.
And he didn't, and that bugs me. But for the most part, I'd like to think if he sees the writing on the wall, knows he's going to get some rest, and they asked Matt LaFleur this yesterday in the press conference. Have you thought about resting some guys? To which he says, I'll worry about that then. I don't want to get there. I don't want to think about that. I'm preparing right now to do everything that we need to do to beat the Ravens.
Do you know how many games Josh Jacobs has rushed? Now, I know he's all-purposed a lot in his Packer tenure, but rushed for over 100 yards in the 2 seasons.
I'm going to say 6.
Pretty sure it's 3.
But is that what the Packers need their running back to do?
That's what Matt LaFleur wants to do.
He also does a pretty good job, though, of sharing the ball between guys like Emmanuel Wilson, or these jet sweeps with our wide receivers, or in the case of a Jordan Love scramble. I would like to know how many games in the past 2 years have the Packers had over 100 yards rushing total, regardless of how many yards Josh Jacobs has.
What if I pose the question of, if you, for a Christmas wish on this very Wisconsin Sports Christmas special during 9 to noon with John Kuhn, Rami Makloff, if I could pose you one Christmas wish, you can have anyone on the team that doesn't have Micah Parsons as a name back to 100% health. And the names I think of on this list are Evan Williams, Zach Tom, Josh Jacobs, those injury situations.
Not season-ending ones like Devontae Wyatt or Tucker Kraft or
Right.
Elton Jenkins.
Right.
They're out.
Eliminate the season-ending ones. You just get one of those guys who's banged up back to 100% health. Is Josh Jacobs not bottom on that list?
I'm not sure. You know what? Let me think about this and give you the answer when we get back after this commercial break.
Let's do it. It's a very Wisconsin sports Christmas. Tommy Wirtz, Trevor Thomas here for another half hour or so, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to
Welcome
know.
back to a very Wisconsin sports Christmas. Here for 9 to noon, John Kuhn, Rami Makloff off. So is Brandon Snide. I can do the high note part of this one.
Sleigh bells in the sky.
That's pretty good, right?
You hear that? All the clicks of the radio going off?
They're just like, I need to go spend time with my family today
So,
instead
I
of
think
these
I have an
guys.
answer for you. I think I have an answer.
The question, if you missed it, if you could have someone without a season-ending injury for the Green Bay Packers, a la Micah Parsons and Tucker Kraft, back to 100% health for the postseason, where does your brain go? And I had argued that Josh Jacobs is closer to the bottom than he is to the top of that list with some of the injuries that are nagging on to this Green Bay Packers team. And Trevor Thomas has his answer.
It might surprise you. Lucas Van Ness.
Wow.
He just hasn't been healthy for a minute. And yet, if you look back to the start of the season, when he was 100% healthy and Rashawn Gary was 100% healthy and Micah Parsons was 100% healthy, Lucas Van Ness made a difference. As a matter of fact, if the dome memory serves me right, I did not research this, I think Lucas Van Ness had the first 2 tackles of the season. He is in the 3rd year of the, hey, bud, let's get it together phase of his career.
Right.
And I personally believed that he had it together. He looked incredible in training camp. Incredible. Holy buckets, we're going to get the Lucas Van Ness that we drafted. Outstanding. And then he got injured. And nobody comes back from an injury the same. He's been battling something with his foot. As a matter of fact, somebody got on him on Twitter, and unlike Lucas Van Ness, he had a response and said, bro, like, a little slack, doing my best, working through an injury. Appreciate you watching. I think if he could be 100% healthy and attacking the pass rush the way we haven't been able to since Mikey got hurt, I think it would just open up the defense more. So I'm picking Lucas Van Ness. What about you?
I think I go with Zach Tom. I think that's where my brain goes first. I would love to have Zach Tom be at 100% health so he could hopefully be the guy protecting the other players who are trying to stay at 100% health back in the backfield behind him with Josh Jacobs, Manuel Wilson, Jordan Love, Malik Willis. You take your pick of who's going to be back there. But Zach Tom is just such a significant upgrade as well to his counterparts who are behind him, whether it is Jordan Morgan, Darian Kennard. I think that he is just so much better. Now, with the safety situation with Evan Williams, when they move around Hobbs to the nickel and then they put Javon Bullard at strong safety, I don't think it's their best defense by any means, but I do believe that's more serviceable than throwing whoever the backup right tackle is for whatever day they decide for the Green Bay Packers.
So Zach Tom is probably further away from being ready than I think Lucas Van Ness is. So I did take that in consideration.
Okay.
Even though I know that you said we have a magic wand and poof, you're better, right?
Right.
I also don't know that Zach Tom being healthy is the end all be all for the offensive line being where they need to be. There's a lot going on there in the offensive line.
And the unhealthiness has almost really formed this offensive line into a much better offensive line during this process, with Elton Jenkins having to be moved out, and then Sean Ryan getting moved around, throwing Anthony Belton in there. It's probably been a benefit more than it has been a hindrance for this Packers team, the injuries on the offensive line.
So back to the defense, though, for a second. And we found out yesterday that Colin Oliver is coming off of the PUP and onto the 53-man roster. Colin Oliver, for those that don't remember, was a 5th-round draft pick of the Packers this season, 159 overall. And he is a edge defender / defensive lineman. Matt LaFleur was asked yesterday about, will Colin Oliver be able to make an impact? Tommy, do you have that? Do we have what he said?
Here it is.
Is he ready to contribute, or is it just a case where you want to get him some more practice time here?
Well, I think that'd be a little premature to say that he's ready to contribute. Does he have promise? Absolutely, he does. I think just watching him practice all last week, you see why we took him, and I just think he needs more reps. But in the event that we need him, early showings are promising.
Colin Oliver, his draft profile, that was Matt LaFleur speaking on him. If you remember, 6'2", 240 pounds, 30 3/4 arms length. I think that's like short arms, if I'm not mistaken. Like an alarmingly short arm.
Really?
Yeah. So he's got a unique build for sure. And I am excited to see what Colin Oliver can do, quite frankly, Trevor, because I am so not excited to watch a Packers pass rush that does not include Micah Parsons. Oh, and I learned that after one game. I knew that, but I learned it, and I can solidify it, that after one game of Rashawn Gary is the head honcho for this pass rush, I'm over it already. Yeah. I'm over it again.
Well, Coach said it's a little premature to think that he's ready to contribute. And the way he's looked in practice is a good reminder as to why the Packers drafted him. So that's encouraging, but it also might be too soon. He's coming off the PUP, the physically unable to perform.
Yep.
He was activated off the PUP December 22nd, just a couple days ago, and he's battling a hamstring injury. And if we know anything about hamstring injuries in the Green Bay Packers, please, God, don't rush that back.
Well, and hamstring injury and PUP list, my brain goes to Christian Watson immediately.
Exactly.
Not that that's why he was on it the last time. He had the torn ACL and then now was activated in the middle of the year and has been phenomenal since being activated. Maybe not last game, but I don't think that a PUP list removal is by any means a disqualification for what can be done, a la Christian Watson this year. And Colin Oliver, he's going to get opportunities. He's going to get his chance. This Packers,
you think he's going to get in there?
For a couple of snaps? No, I'm not saying he's going to start, but why wouldn't you? You'd be foolish not to try this guy who tests athletically very well, 4.5 speed, going to play defensive end. You've seen what Rashawn Gary has done for you lately. The opposite end is either unhealthy Lucas Van Ness or up and down roller coaster Kingsley Enagbare. I think that Colin Oliver has to get some shots, has to get some opportunities. Expectations do not have to be high, but opportunities have to be.
I'll be surprised to see if he actually makes it in the game. The way that Matt LaFleur made that sound was, I don't plan to use him yet. I want him to keep practicing. I want to be sure that he is physically able to perform. And he's only practiced for a week. Last I checked, I think you need a little bit more time. Now, he's been here. He's been participating in the best that he could on the PUP, knowing that he wasn't allowed to practice. But hopefully, the guy that we drafted from Oklahoma State is the guy that maybe shows up on the field to help fill the void, because I do not believe that Rashawn Gary has come anywhere near to filling the void. I'm honestly worried about his future as a Packer because the way it looks right now, we'll see.
I said, I believe it was yesterday, for sure said it this week on the Mason Crosby show and others, that Micah Parsons coming to Green Bay might have been the worst thing that could have happened to Rashawn Gary, and it should have been the best thing.
See, I thought it was going to be the worst thing for Lucas Van Ness. When they brought Parsons in, I was like, oh boy. Like, just the way it kind of went down at the very end of training camp, I thought that was Goody's way of saying, I cannot count on Lucas Van Ness to figure it out. And Micah Parsons fell in our lap. Why would we not do this? But to your point, I'd be willing to bet that Lucas Van Ness, had he not gotten injured, would have had a better year than Rashawn Gary has. And the eye of the beholder, buddy, when you're running after a play and you're not there and it looks like you give up, I'll take things that Micah Parsons never does for 500, Alex, because, man, when he's jogging, it looks terrible.
It looks bad. It looks very bad. And when Micah Parsons the week before sprinted past you, right? Like, this is back-to-back weeks we have seen this effort be a problem for Rashawn Gary, or the physical, whatever it is, or the conditioning is not where it needs to be. Maybe that's a bigger problem than
Is he
the
healthy?
effort. As far as we know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we've been told, is that he has. This is a guy that was gifted, Trevor, a 10-sack season for the first time in his career. He was wrapped up, and it was a Christmas present on August 29th for Rashawn Gary from Santa, who they call Ed Policy up there, and Brian Gutekunst. But I am telling you, it was the worst thing that could have happened to him, because now that he is gone and the role is, well, we were going to rock with you anyway, so step up and be the guy. And he could not be farther away from the guy. Now, I do say this. Micah Parsons, after, what did he play, 14 games? After 14 games, I can say this about Micah Parsons. I believe he's the second most talented guy to ever wear the uniform. I mean, he's unreal. He's unreal. The contribution to the Packers, he's not close to the top of the list. But as far as freak NFL player ability, Micah Parsons and Aaron Rodgers are at the top of that list in my mind.
I was going to say, who's number one? It's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, that guy just was unreal. He was making throws no one else would make. He was expected to make throws no one else would make on top of that.
You know what I think they have in common, though, are the mentals. They both understand the game of football in a way that is very rare. Micah Parsons sees things and reacts to things that Rashawn Gary may or may not even know exist. And the same was true for Aaron Rodgers, for sure.
And that's because of the confidence in their God-given ability, right? I mean, that's where it comes down to. Micah Parsons, he doesn't need to be the smartest man on the field, because he is the fastest, he is the strongest, he is the freakiest athlete. Aaron Rodgers didn't even need to be the smartest man on the field, because his arm was so much stronger than everyone else's, because his ability to drop it where it needed to be was better than anyone else's. But throw in the fact that they are one of the smartest people on the field, it's unreal. And that's why freak is the first word that comes to my mind.
The first thing out of John Cena's mouth when he was against Kurt Angle and showed up in the wrestling scene so many years ago, ruthless aggression.
Josh
is what he
mouthed
said
it before. Yeah.
That is exactly who Micah Parsons is. He comes to the table with ruthless aggression. And that's just not what we see out of Rashawn Gary.
And it got it out of a lot of other people.
Is Josh still there?
He's working in the background. Yeah.
Oh, dude, go home. Christmas Eve.
The line you said of ruthless aggression and how they embody that. As I just said right before, though, they get it out of other people on their team.
They do. They bring out the best, for sure.
That is something Rashawn Gary does not do, will not do, ever. In fact,
who on the Packers team right now, Tommy, is getting the best out of everybody else? Because we know that Josh Jacobs, to your point, cannot be the leader that he's needed to be. I don't look to Jordan Love as somebody that gets the best out of everybody around him. I just don't. Who is on this team right now that makes everybody else show up?
Well, I will argue that Jordan Love gets the best out of Christian Watson, specifically.
True.
Not the wide receiver room. But on Christian Watson, oh yeah, I'm all in on Christian Watson when Jordan Love's playing quarterback.
True.
The rest of the team, yeah, I don't know. I don't see it. I think that there's an argument for Tom on the offensive line and helping out, but it really didn't happen until Sean Ryan moved to center. So maybe Sean Ryan gets the best out of that offensive line, and he's just under the radar with it. But Micah Parsons definitely did it.
100%.
And when he is not a part of it, no one happens. Does Malik Willis do it with anyone to you? Is that why people like him so much?
I do feel like it changes the game when he's in there. I'm not sure if it's changing the game because the game plan has changed.
I got it. Malik Willis gets the best out of Matt LaFleur.
Ooh, mic drop.
Mic drop.
Wow.
That's gross.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Does.
I don't like saying that.
Why is that the case, though?
Because I think Malik maybe is a little more in-game receptive and understanding of that. And I think it gets simplified. So I don't want that to come out and say anything that Malik Willis is doing is better than Jordan Love. I think it gets simplified. And I think Matt LaFleur can better personify his offense through Malik Willis. And that's why he enjoys it so much. And I think that's why there's so much frustration with Matt LaFleur. Because why can you not do the same with Jordan Love? Why? He is better than Malik Willis. He is. It's not even close.
Of course he is. Yeah, I actually told this story on the morning show at least once already, but it was some years ago. Christian Watson was a rookie on the Packers, and at the beginning of the season, they have what's called the Green Bay Chamber of Commerce Welcome Back Luncheon. And I went to this thing often.
Catchy name.
I was invited. What's that?
I said catchy name.
Welcome back. Well, this is the luncheon that you used to see Aaron Rodgers in the quarterback room dress up. Like, remember the year they wore the Texas tuxedos? It was 2010. They won the Super Bowl that year, in case you were wondering. Christian Watson sat at our table, and I said, hey, how's it going learning the offense? And his response was, which one? Matt's or Aaron's? I wonder if Malik Willis, to your point, is the quarterback on the team right now when he comes in that 100% of the time is running Matt's offense. And I'm not sure, just based on how often Jordan Love seems to change the plays, that that's the case for him.
I think they have a good relationship. By no means am I trying to speculate that Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love don't get along.
No, me neither.
And I think that Malik Willis is tied to it. He's trying to get out of Green Bay, or at least get the opportunity for Green Bay.
Bad news.
And it's not going to happen.
No,
not going to happen.
Oh, I think after this year, when he becomes a free agent, if you think he's going to be the backup to the Green Bay Packers anymore, I would believe that's not true.
All right, let's look over that on the other side. It is a very Wisconsin sports Christmas in here from 9 to noon. John Kuhn, Rami Makloff, Brandon Snide all out. So I don't want to necessarily claim that I'm filling in for their show because I didn't check if they would be okay with that. And there's no shot that John knows I am in the host chair today. 0% chance. It is a very Wisconsin sports Christmas live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
sing it.
Okay. Yeah, this is the other octave.
Well,
This is
out
a
of
whole
my
other
range.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, head voice, falsetto.
Oh God,
You
way
know.
back here where there's no hair.
Where there's no hair. A very Wisconsin sports Christmas on 9 to noon. Rami Makloff, John Kuhn out today. Brandon Snide as well out today.
They're all gone.
Should I go down the list? If I could get one Wisconsin Sports Radio Network host back at full health, it'd be Trevor Thomas. So I already got my list.
I was going to say,
back.
Josh and I are just fine. Thanks for asking.
It's just hope everyone's having a very Merry Christmas. Everyone driving, traveling, wherever you get there safely today. Enjoy it. Trevor, do you guys have like a Santa that comes by you on Christmas?
Yeah, Santa will be here at our place overnight tonight.
Nice.
And we'll drop off gifts for the morning. Absolutely.
He stops off and visits at my Christmas tonight. So we have Santa, which I'm pretty sure for like $100 and some food, Santa will come to your house too. Like if I
You're going to eat his cookies, you son of a bitch, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm actually on a no cookie thing right now. This sucks, dude.
The no bread, dude, I don't know how you're doing it this time of year.
Dude, Trev, I never stepped on a scale at the beginning, and I have not since. And I have had, I think yesterday was the 5th person asked me if I lost weight since I started it.
Good for you for not chasing a number, but
Right.
just trying to feel better. Your clothes fits better. Been there, done that. This shirt that I'm wearing used to fit me great.
Yeah, I've actually wore my fat shirt a couple of days ago, and it was really fat on me. So I was like, yeah, that's
a good
awesome.
feeling.
I love that. Love that.
for
So
you.
it's going well. I actually picked this time of the year specifically, Trevor, because the other thing that comes with the holiday season is the other holiday, New Year's, right?
Mhm.
And that's a very big time for everyone to make a resolution. Everyone says they want to lose weight. Everyone says they want to get in better shape.
Mhm.
It's a very common one, right? I hate doing that on January 1st because I feel like I'm just with everyone. I have to either be better than them or on with them. I do it before January,
Well
so
done.
I have a head start, and I get to make the decision if I really want to do it or not.
I started December and was like, no sugar. Let's get through the holidays. Yep, made it 14 days. And I was like, ooh, cookies.
That's not a nothing time. 2 weeks.
Yeah, but I dropped 15, almost 20 pounds. And guess what? 10 of those are back. Like that.
It's crazy how it works. I could beat my
starving.
metabolism in a race, dude. I swear. It's that's how slow it is. Well, we got another 2 hours here. Trevor Thomas
We do not. We.
is not. Yes.
Not,
Trevor
no.
Thomas is going to be done
Goodbye.
at the top. Trevor, Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for hanging out for another hour here, talking some Packers along the way. Mitch Thunder Nellis going to join me at the top of the hour. But it's the first 3 months we've been able to work together. Big Trev, super happy, super grateful that you are a part of the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. I wish you worked more so I didn't have to fill in for you all the time. But other than that, it's been great, and I'm super excited for a full year of Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
We love what we're doing, and you do too. Whether it's you, Tommy, or those listening, the feedback has been incredible. The whole launch of the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, a mere, almost, I guess, 4-ish months ago now?
Yeah.
It's been incredible and a dream come true, and I think we're going to just, keep a good thing going.
Yeah.
That's the plan. Let's come back after the new year a little refreshed and feel better. By the way, I'm not letting you forget, you wanted to talk about Malik Willis here as we get to the top of the hour. His passer rating
Do it.
this season, did you see it?
I did not.
What do you think it is? Malik Willis's passer rating
120
this season. Last year, buddy, it was 124.8. This year, 146.1.
Wow. He's good.
We have just as good of a chance to win with Malik Willis at quarterback as we do with Jordan Love. There's not a single other
why
NFL
did you
team.
say that? We have
There's not a
40
single-
seconds.
There's not a single other NFL team that can say that they have just as much confidence in their backup quarterback as they do their starting quarterback. The reason I said it right now, which we have like 30 seconds, is because you and I aren't going to argue about it. You're
Yeah.
going to argue about it with
You know who also
Thunder.
says that? The Raiders. The Browns also say this. The Giants feel the same way about the team. Got a common theme. They all suck. Trevor, all those teams stink.
Guess who doesn't?
Yeah,
This
the
team.
Packers.
You're welcome.
Merry Christmas, Trevor.
Merry
Have
Christmas.
a good
We'll
one.
see you guys
Thanks,
later.
boss.
From the frozen tundra to your airwaves, it's time for 9 to noon.
It's John Kuhn and touchdown Packers.
The ultimate midday hangout for Packers talk, Wisconsin sports, and everything in between. He's a Super Bowl champion,
Underneath Kuhn for the touchdown.
a Green Bay legend,
Look at John Kuhn run for the first down and keep it going. Moving the pile all the way to the 6-yard line.
and Lambeau's favorite fullback, John Kuhn. He's bringing the heat, the humor, and just the right amount of chaos. Rami Makloff. Together, they're breaking it all down, debating every angle, and having a little fun while doing it. This is 9 to noon on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Hour number 2 of 9 to noon, a very Wisconsin sports Christmas special. That's what I'm calling it for now, at least. We had an hour of Trevor Thomas. Now we have 2 hours of the thunder that followed that lightning.
Y'all know me, still same OG, but it didn't know key. I've been hated on with a pen and a pad.
I was letting you cook. I was letting you cook.
I used to know the whole thing, and my brain, don't get old, Tommy.
I don't plan on it. Remember, I tell you that all the time. Mitch
I know.
Thunder Nellis joining us down on 30A. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Mitch
Merry
Nellis.
Christmas. Yep, Merry
How-
Christmas to you. Great
How
to
are
see you.
things in Florida?
Things are great. As I texted you earlier today, Mrs. Thunder and I took a little walk over to the beach this morning, walked through downtown of like the little village we're in. I walked her over to her Pilates class. I jumped into the coffee shop, had a little cold brew,
Nice.
little sweet foam on top. Now the girls are starting to get up and stir. And so, it's the calm before the storm. The in-laws get here tomorrow. The brother-in-law and sister-in-law and nephews get here the day after that. But right now it's just like, we're just chilling and doing our thing.
Does she have like a Planet Fitness black card to a Pilates class that she can go anywhere? Or this is just like, and I have to sign up for Pilates while we're down in 30A?
Bing, 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 bing. It's actually hot yoga.
Okay.
Hot yoga is her jam. But in the hot yoga studio, they do hot yoga at 6 and Pilates at 8. So the past 2 days when she had to get up to work, she did yoga. But today, because she could sleep in a little bit longer, she did the Pilates class. It kicked her butt a little bit. She's happy about that. But she like last week, she was doing research because there's a new yoga place within walking distance that wasn't here before. There's a lot of businesses that go in and out and in and out, because it's very tourist driven and seasonal down here. But there's this new place that she just absolutely loves. So she searches it out and then finds like it was cheaper to buy the month pass than the week pass. So she just bought the whole month pass. Done. Say less.
This at the end of the January, she's just gonna fly down for one of the Pilates classes.
It wouldn't shock me if she did that.
She's on a plane all the time anyway. Might as well take a detour over to Florida. Well, Mitch Nellis joining us here now on a very Wisconsin sports Christmas, and we went very heavy Packers in the first hour of the show with Trevor Thomas. The Milwaukee Bucks won yesterday, Mitch Nellis.
What?
Yes.
No, I didn't know they knew how to do that anymore.
That is actually something that happened. And they beat the Pacers, the big rival, Mitch Nellis.
The big rival. I mean, you throw out the records when they play the Pacers, thankfully, because the Pacers have the second worst record in all of the NBA this year. Obviously, Miles Turner came over to the Bucks, but Tyrese Halliburton, that injury totally disrupted that franchise. I think the lesson learned is that KPJ and Ryan Rollins both need to play together a lot. Ryan Rollins' minutes had been going down, and the Bucks have been struggling. They need to play a lot together. They're just explosive. They're a dynamic duo. Rumors that both Bobby Portis and Kyle Kuzma on the trade block as the Bucks are looking to add more firepower to put next to Giannis. Listen, if they go to the court with Rollins, KPJ, Giannis, and somebody else awesome, they got a shot every night.
As long as that person isn't Zach LaVine, right?
Yes.
That's the name that it feels like if there is some smoke where there is fire, it is Zach LaVine being that guy who is the fourth awesome on the court for the Milwaukee Bucks.
I would take DeMar DeRozan because he's just veteran savvy and doesn't miss from mid-range. But Zach LaVine's just like a knucklehead.
If
No,
they
I
go
don't want
out
Zach LaVine.
and get a guy like DeMar DeRozan, where they're bringing in some more veteran star power, maybe a little bit past his time, but still serviceable in the NBA.
Yep.
Is that not just going completely against the plan that they just thought they had in the beginning of the season, Mitch Nellis?
Well, not if they're trading Bobby Portis for him, because then you're just trading better old for old, and it doesn't really conflict. If you're trading young guys for that, like you can't trade KPJ, you can't trade Ryan Rollins. I think that's the core right now with Giannis, and everybody else is on the table. And I think they still want to be like, hey, we can win this year. Like we can win a playoff series this year. Now, if the playoffs were to start today, our favorite segment of the day, right? If the playoffs were to start right now, if the season were to end right now, the Bucks would be out of the playoffs, completely out. The 11th seed, they're 2.5 behind the Bulls for the 10th seed. But Giannis comes back, Rollins, KPJ, if they make a deal or not. I think the thought is that if Giannis comes back, they're still at least going to finish in that 7 through 10 zone, if not even better. All the teams are mushed there. The Bucks just need to get back into it. A little quick 6-game winning streak when Giannis gets back would help that. And we'll see what happens. I don't know if we want to go big with Bucks today, but I'll always, you know me, Tommy, I'll do Bucks for 2 hours. Like, you know, where's Camille Davis when we need her?
I will say that the Bucks have been neglected on the sports talk radio, and it's been on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Now, Giannis not playing plays a huge factor into that, right?
Giannis not playing.
The team not good without Giannis there as well.
Team not good.
Playing a big factor in it. And my
statewide network.
Statewide
network.
Yeah, yes.
So we do hear from pockets of the state that are like, why are you ever talking Bucks? Nobody cares about the Bucks. You know what? A lot of people care about the Bucks. So you can hold your 2 cents in your own pocket and not share it.
Michael Porter Jr. is the one I want if they're going to do it.
Really?
If they're going to do it.
Okay.
I
don't hate that, but I don't know if he's quite ready to be that guy though.
Well, he's going to get a chance if Giannis is still on the team for the time being to hopefully evolve into a guy they believe could be a guy. And he won't be Giannis. No one ever will be again. But if Giannis is going to be traded, I feel like it's going to be in the offseason now. The value you would get for him in the middle of the year versus what you could get to him when no basketball is going on feels like it is much stronger. But if you can find a way in the middle of the year for a Kyle Kuzma, and assuming they're going to have to trade that 2031 pick again.
No.
It's Michael Porter Jr.
You can't trade that pick. You could do, you got to figure out some other ways.
But they're going to get picks back when they trade Giannis.
Did you see Porter's numbers, by the way, this year? I didn't realize his numbers were quite.
He averages over 25 a night.
25 a night?
Yes.
I mean, I know it's a bad team, but he's shooting 49% from the field, 40% from 3, 81% from the line, 7 rebounds, 3.5 assists. All right. You might have me on Michael Porter Jr. I mean, I knew he was inconsistent, but had all the talent in the world in Denver. Now in Brooklyn, you know, somebody's got a stat in a bad team. So like whoever got him in fantasy basketball is loving it.
Bradley Beal, Washington Wizards.
Sharif Abdur-Rahim, Vancouver Grizzlies.
Nice.
That's before your time.
Yeah.
But that guy statted like a madman on some bad Grizzlies teams. I had him every year. But yeah, I mean, I'm on board. We'll see. I think a move needs to be made. I think there'll be a move that's made. I don't know if it'll be Kyle. I don't know if it'll be Bobby. I don't know if it'll be someone else. But man, Michael Porter Jr. would look nice next to Giannis.
Is there pressure for this team to make a move, Mitch Nellis? Is it they have to almost now go out and try to retool again with Giannis like they tried to do before the season? Or is there pressure to move on from Giannis? Is the front office feeling this part of the Bucks season where something needs to change at least?
Not with Giannis. I mean, listen, if somebody calls in and says, we've got 8 number ones and 2 starters, you take that call.
Right.
If somebody calls in and is like, hey, we got 5 second rounders and a starter.
And Jay Crowder.
Right. Yeah. No, thank you. So I don't think we're at that point with Giannis yet. I really don't. And I think the national people have heard about it time and time again. Giannis made it clear last week when he was like, well, I don't, my agent and me, blah, blah, blah.
What did you make of those comments? Because we work on a very football-heavy show, and sometimes on Wednesdays we sneak away from it. But in season, we like to keep it very football-heavy. And we never really got an opportunity to comment on
didn't.
Giannis's comments. And I'm wondering, as the guy who is probably the biggest Bucks fan in the building when he is here, your thoughts on Giannis's lines of, for one, I'm the hottest girl at the party, right? That was one of his lines. Or it's not me saying this, it's my agent. Like, where do you go as a Bucks fan, a Bucks season ticket holder, a sports radio host when you hear Giannis make those comments?
All the above. And the whole, like, well, I don't work for my agent works for me. So if he's talking to the Bucks, like, they can have conversations. He's got other clients too. At the end of the day, it was just more of the same. They're like yes, we learned some new information because it was Giannis himself talking, but I don't think anything really changed. Like, I think the Bucks want to build a winning team around Giannis. I think Giannis wants to win. I think Giannis wants to be in a Milwaukee. And I think, again, it's the Bucks' due diligence. It's its agent's due diligence. It's his due diligence to explore options. Options are always going to be a thing across all sports, across all jobs. As we just saw with a bunch of our friends on the Infinity Sports Network in the world of radio, it's always better to have options than to just put all your eggs into one basket. And so what Giannis basically is telling us is, like, not all my eggs are in one basket. My agent has the right to talk to people, but no decision's going to be made without me. Like, my agent and the Bucks aren't going to decide to trade me without me, which a lot of players don't have that. A lot of players, if the team decides to trade you, they you don't have a choice. Giannis does have that power. And I think basically that's what we heard, is that Giannis is going to be part of that future decision-making process. But I don't think it had any bearing on what's happening right now, what's happening this season. Listen, 12-18, team going nowhere fast, but Giannis comes back and they sneak into the playoffs and win a round. What if they win 2 rounds? What if they get to the Eastern Conference Finals this year? Which wouldn't be shocking. Like, the East isn't great. Like New York's really good, but again, I question their mental toughness when it comes down to it. Detroit is really good, but again, they haven't proven anything in the playoffs. The Celtics, I think the Celtics are probably the scariest team because they're winning without Tatum. And they get Tatum back in March. If they get Tatum back, like, all of a sudden the Celtics could be the favorite. Cleveland hasn't played well. Orlando hasn't played well. Atlanta hasn't played well. Like, nobody scares me in terms of the Bucks being able to win a series. Toronto doesn't scare me if Giannis is fully healthy. But again, it comes down to being fully healthy. If Giannis isn't going to be healthy, none of this matters. Like 2 years ago in the playoffs, if Giannis is hurt, none of it matters. If Dame gets hurt, none of it matters. Dame, Giannis, and Chris Middleton didn't play one playoff game together ever, the three of them together. So none of it matters. But I think what Giannis said, I have no problem with Giannis said. I have no problem with having an opinion. I have no problem with commenting on things. Nothing he said scared me. Nothing he said upset me. He's allowed to. It's his life. Like, he's allowed to have his life.
Yeah. And not to have you speak for everyone who's not named Mitch Nellis, but
yeah, I like speaking for Mitch Nellis because that's me.
Is Giannis, like, ruining his Milwaukee-ness almost? Is he with comments like this, with actions like the last couple of months? I don't think anyone really believed anything until this season, right? Anytime there was noise surrounding Giannis, it felt like, oh no, we know him better than anyone else. Windhorst, shut up. Shams, shut up. Like, you're just making this up. And maybe you're trying to fit your narrative by the end of it. But then it started to unfold. And then you started to see some of the true colors and maybe the real conversations. It felt like were happening. And Chris Haynes was all reporting on it. Everyone was reporting on it. Yep. And was this ultimately going to happen no matter what? Was this always going to happen? And they were just trying to be ahead of it, trying to be the first one on the beat. And this was, at the end of the day, just a fever dream that Giannis was going to be a Buck forever and that it was never going to actually happen. And we just believed too hard before this year.
All right. Well, I'm going to answer your question, but I'm going to make you answer the question first. Is Giannis losing some of his Milwaukee-ness? Tommy Wirtz.
Absolutely.
Okay. I think it's hard to argue not. Like, I think I think he still loves Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I think he still knows that Milwaukee was always here for him, and he was always here for Milwaukee. And he loves the community. He loves that he met his wife here, and that his kids were born here, and that and I think he loves all that. But I think part of that humility and connection to community has been lost. Not totally. There's still some of it there.
No, and I think he can.
But it's not quite the same.
I think he can rebuild it still. Like, I think that if
Yeah, if he
Giannis was
wants
here
to.
his whole career, he'd be back to his status he was at 2 years ago with this team.
Yeah.
I think if he ends up never leaving, it wouldn't be anything.
Right.
But I also think that this is on his own merit, and that it is his fault that he is losing some of his Milwaukee-ness,
Sure.
as I claimed.
But I think he's okay with that. Like you say that it's his fault. But I think part of it is he knows the value of his global brand, and he wants to maximize on that for his Greek heritage and his African heritage, and connect with those global audiences, and knowing that, like, listen, as social media and as connected as we all are, you're going to connect with that audience and be a better spokesman for it from New York than you are from Milwaukee. Like, you just are. And so knowing, again, exploring your options, not in a rush to do anything, not doing anything, not making any knee-jerk reactions, but having that opportunity to do it. I think it behooves him to at least be that guy, which, again, like, he wasn't that guy for the first 6-7 years of his career. He was like, I'm going to get a smoothie in Milwaukee. And now it's like, I'm building a global brand of Antetokounmpos and watching out for my brothers and building courts in Greece. And that's great. Like, he should be doing that. But again, that lessens his connection to Milwaukee, whether it's on purpose or whether it's with a plan or whether he still loves Milwaukee. I still think he loves Milwaukee. He's just doing things on a more global thought process now, as opposed to just being uber local.
The Bucks play on Christmas last year?
No,
No,
they did not. And it was a little controversial last year because they'd played for like 3 years in a row.
Right.
There was no reason they shouldn't have played. They still had the star power. It was kind of annoying that they did not play on Christmas.
Well, they are not playing on Christmas again. Their next game will be on Friday against the Grizzlies. Please don't trade Ja Morant to Milwaukee.
0%. Do not want.
Do not want that.
Yep.
But
Unlike-
let's talk about Christmas and sports because we got a full slate of NBA games, couple of NFL games. Screw you, NBA. The NFL is king, I guess, here. And what Christmas Day games may mean for Wisconsin sports as well. It is a very Wisconsin sports Christmas, which I came up with that name this morning. I was just I'm going to call it that. We are on 9 to noon, however, in for John Kuhn, Rami Makloff, Brandon Snide producing the program as well. Thunder is here with me. Tommy Wirtz talking to you right now. On the other side, let's talk about Christmas Day games in all of North American pro sports on a very Wisconsin Sports Christmas, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
love. But don't you buy me nothing. Don't you buy me nothing. I am feeling one thing. Your lips on my lips. That's a Merry, Merry Christmas. It's the
Welcome
most
back
beautiful
to a very
holiday.
Wisconsin sports Christmas. Tommy Wirtz, Mitch Thunder Nellis joining me here now after Trevor Thomas filled in the first hour. We got Mitch Nellis for the next two here, talking a little bit about the Bucks in segment 1 of this hour. And now Christmas Day. Mitch Nellis, does the NBA still control Christmas Day?
No, 0%, unfortunately. In my mind, it does. I am a NBA on Christmas Day purist. I always will be. I remember watching, Celtics Lakers in my youth. I remember going to friends' houses. I don't know why I remember this, but I was at a friend's house in Franklin for Christmas, and the whole family was like in the dining room doing Christmas stuff, and it was like a minute left. I think Maverick's sons, and it was Dirk Nowitzki. And I just everybody's like, oh, we're having dinner. I'm like, yeah, there's a minute left. And the Mavericks are down by 1 and Nowitzki hit a big shot. And I couldn't tear myself away from the TV. So for me, it's always going to be NBA, but I understand we live in America. It's the way it is. But I want to throw this to you before we get into how the games affect the Packers and the Bucks and what it looks like from a local landscape. How sad, how mad, how frustrated is the NFL
Yes.
that the primetime game
Yes.
tomorrow night has the Kansas City Chiefs at 6-9 with no Mahomes, no Minshew. Yeah, it's the Broncos. The Broncos, if they want to, will win this game by 40. And with the news that the Chiefs are leaving Missouri to go to Kansas. What a terrible primetime game tomorrow night for the
Mitch,
NFL.
I'll do you one better. All three of these games at the beginning of the year, the NFL was great slate for Christmas, and all of them stink now.
Yeah.
All of them have virtually nothing. It's Cowboys, Commanders, two teams
Nothing.
that are not
Both
going to
out.
be in the playoffs.
Yep.
It's Lions, Vikings, which it's always a divisional game, sure, but now J.J. McCarthy's not going to play, so who cares what Max Brosmer does?
And if the Lions are 8-7 right now, 15 games in, let's say they're 11-4 or 12-3, the rest of the country would care about them.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about the Lions with Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs, who are amazing, fun players to watch nationally, aren't fun when the team's 8-7. Nobody cares.
And Broncos, Chiefs, as you mentioned, with no Mahomes, no Minshew, everyone going to be tuning in for Bo Nix versus Chris Oladukin. I'm sure that's what yeah, exactly.
Who is Chris Oladukin?
He's
Is that
quarterback.
really
That's his
Is
name.
that really the, oh
That's
my
his
gosh.
name. That's who's going to play for them. That's who they signed, ready to get going. It is the worst case scenario for the NFL on Christmas. And meanwhile, looking at the NBA on Christmas, you have Cavs Knicks. You have
Okay, which is okay. It's not great, but it's still New York.
Spurs Thunder.
Greatest game ever. Greatest game ever. Greatest matchup ever.
Mavs Warriors. So you have Steph Curry in the game, right?
And Cooper Flagg.
And Cooper Flagg, who's unreal.
Yep.
Rockets Lakers. So you have LeBron in the game.
And Durant.
And Durant. And then Nuggets Wolves, a good Western Conference matchup as well.
Yeah, you got Jokic and you got Ant. There is heavy star power tomorrow in the NBA, even if it's one game, one Eastern Conference game and 4 West, which I don't love. I don't love that split, but it is star power across the board when you talk about the NBA games. And I get it that we live in an NFL country, right? And NFL rules. And listen, we reached out to Mikey Henninger today. And he's Basement Brood Fantasy Football. He's been our fantasy football guy all year long. He couldn't come on today, but those games tomorrow are going to be relevant because it is championship week in fantasy football.
Mm-hmm.
That's why people are going to watch those games all across the country. But for dollar value, for entertainment value, it's not even close. The NBA destroys the NFL tomorrow.
Yeah, and I think the ratings, was it last year, the first year they went on Christmas without
Yes.
it being on a Thursday or a Sunday, right?
Yes, that is correct. Yes.
I think the ratings will be closer than last year
I hope so.
versus the NBA.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, yeah.
Not that they're going to win. There's
Right.
going to be way more people watching football tomorrow, 100%. As me probably included in this.
Yeah.
But looking at the slate that the NBA got to put out on Christmas this year versus the slate the NFL ended up with on Christmas this year, the NBA has done everything possible to try to compete for their day back, Mitch.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think that's why they went with the 4 West Coast matchups. I do wonder if at some point they might do interconference matchups, which they generally haven't done. I mean, I'm pretty sure when I was a kid, the Celtics and the Lakers did play every once in a while on Christmas Day. I could be wrong. But since Giannis has been on the Bucks, at least, and since I've paid more attention to the matchups on Christmas Day, because of course when the Bucks stunk, I watched, but I didn't pay as much attention. There've been specifically East Coast and West Coast matchups. I do wonder if like why not have the Knicks and the Lakers play, or the Celtics
every
and the
year
Lakers play?
They should do it. They should make it traditional if they want to really take over their day, Mitch.
Yes, totally agree. So it'll be interesting to see what the ratings look like. Again, the NBA matchups are much better. The week one is New York and Cleveland, but it is the New York market, and Knicks fans, they did win the cup this year. So Mason Crosby says they're a big deal.
Yeah, the cup. Everyone knows.
Yeah.
Mason. No one likes the cup more than the Mason Crosby show. No one's rooting for the cup more than us.
Right. So what are you? So what will your television? And remember, the first 2 NFL games are on Netflix.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's one thing to look at when we look at the scores. What's on tomorrow. So all 5 NBA games are either on ESPN or ABC.
Yes.
Right? It's 5 in a row. It's ESPN or ABC. I think it depends on the market you're in, and it depends on their scheduling. But if you look at the NFL, the first game's on. I mean, the Broncos Chiefs is on Prime Video. Oh, it's not Netflix. It's Oh wait, what am I looking at here? It is Netflix. Cowboys Commanders are Netflix. Lions Vikings are Netflix, and Broncos Chiefs are on Amazon Prime Video. So none of them are on over-the-air television except for their home markets. I wonder how that will affect things. I mean, listen, anybody who wants it has Netflix by now, right? Like we have Netflix. And speaking of, oh no, we didn't watch it on Netflix. We watched it on Disney Plus. We watched Die Hard last night. I got to get to that.
We'll get it.
Yeah. But I do wonder how that affects things as well, that app-based versus ABC and ESPN. And not that people know how they're watching things anymore. They just go to YouTube TV, or if they have cable, or if they go back and forth between their cable and their apps. But it is out of the realm of normalcy from how we watch sports. We are used to the NFL being on Fox and on CBS, and maybe a little on NBC, maybe a little on ABC. But Netflix isn't normally where we go. And are people going to take that effort to find Cowboys Commanders and Lions Vikings on Netflix? We're not talking about, I don't know, Packers Patriots or Broncos Rams or whatever it might be. We're talking about, mid teams at best.
What if it was Steelers Ravens?
I mean, Steelers Ravens has cachet. Obviously, this year it's down, but they're still in a race. Both teams are still alive for the playoffs. I think we're used to seeing that game on holidays.
Right.
That's we've seen that a lot on Thanksgiving night. I think that would get better ratings. I think people are more used to that. I think people are used to watching the Cowboys on a Thursday because it's Thanksgiving. So now it happens to be Christmas this year. But and if the Commanders did what they did last year, even at 6-8-1, like if the Commanders were 11-4, this would be a game people would tune into. I don't know that anybody's tuning into this one.
Mitch, the best game between both leagues is Spurs Thunder, right?
100%. And the Spurs actually beat the Thunder last night in San Antonio. They beat them by 20, which is a huge win for them. They started a new tradition, celebrating with a drum on the floor after the game. And Wemby is unbelievable.
He's unbelievable. And I will 100% turn that game on tomorrow and hopefully watch the entirety of it. I might personally, I probably as a Bucks fan should care more about Cavs Knicks, but they just don't really do it for me this year.
Right.
They don't do it for me. Feels like the Cavs are underwhelming. What they've been
supposed
to be doing.
They have been, yeah.
And the Knicks, like, what am I doing? Am I trying to see what my Miles Bridges is like so that when the Bucks trade him, like I can see Miles Bridges beforehand? Like,
and how much do we need to be told by the national media again to buy into the Knicks and them choking in the playoffs before we can finally not have to pay attention. They're the second best team in the East right now. They're 3.5 behind Detroit, who's been awesome. They're 2 ahead of Boston, Boston's in 3rd place without Tatum, which is unbelievable. But do any of us really buy the Knicks? I don't think so. And Cleveland's 7th. So, Oklahoma City's 1, San Antonio's 2 in the West. They are 1-2. Oklahoma City is 26-4 now. Their last 2 losses have both been to the Spurs.
With the top 2 players in the league on each team?
With SGA and Wemby?
Yeah.
Certainly 2 of the best 5 players in the league.
Okay.
Maybe 2 of the best 3. I mean, it's hard to say Jokic isn't in there. Obviously, we can't put Giannis in there this season because of the injury. But besides that, I mean, there are other great players in the league. There's Doncic, there's Durant, there's Anthony Edwards. But you could argue 2 of the best 3 players in the league. Wemby's probably not quite there yet in terms of, he's gotten hurt a couple times. He was hurt earlier this season. But when he's on the court, he changes everything.
Maybe the top 2 most valuable players, assets in the league.
I like that.
That could be a better word than best. But with that being said, the biggest game comes from the NFL for the Wisconsin sports fan slate, and that is 3 o'clock. That is Lions, and that is Vikings. With that game, probably a super favorite in the Lions. I didn't even check the line. I wonder if that moved, because I think it moved a half a point while we were picking it yesterday.
It did. It was 6.5. It moved to 7. It's up to 7.5.
Yeah. And I expect it could get to 8. I could see it getting to 8.
Oh, I agree. So, Tommy, that's the thing about the 3 NFL games tomorrow, though. Dallas is favored by 7.5. Detroit's favored by 7.5. And Denver's favored by 13. These aren't even supposed to be close games. Washington, Mariota's questionable. I don't know if he's starting or not. If he's not, they're going to start a quarterback I've never heard of before. The Vikings are starting a quarterback I've never heard of before. And the Chiefs are starting a quarterback I've never heard of before. And maybe I've heard of them because you and I were in sports radio and you tell me who they are because you keep me honest. But I'm not – it's a quarterback league. And if it's not Bo Nix and Patrick Mahomes, if it's not Jared Goff and J.J. McCarthy – if it's not Dak Prescott and Jaden Daniels, I'm not bought in. I'm not bought into these games.
One more question about this before we hit a break. Then
and then I have one for you as well.
Are we sad that the Bucks or the Packers aren't playing on Christmas?
I am, and I'm very. Listen, I'm a Hanukkah guy, not a Christmas guy. I love Christmas. We get Chinese food. We have traditions around it. But I don't celebrate Christmas. So I love when my team plays on Christmas because it gives me something to do. And that kind of leads me into my question for you. Knowing that our teams aren't playing, I want to know your answer about, are you bummed that one of our teams isn't playing? But also, which is better background noise for you? If you're wrapping presents, or if you're hanging out with friends, or if you got family stuff going on and you're hanging out in the living room, would you rather an NBA game on in the background or an NFL game in the background?
Well, I will say this. The Packers are never in the background when I'm watching.
Of course.
They're never in the back. The Packers are the forefront. The Packers are what the Packers are the topic.
Absolutely. For sure.
The Bucks, it could be more of an attentive listening exercise.
And then when it gets close in the fourth quarter, then you focus in the fourth.
Let's lock into the last 6 minutes of a tight game. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
So I believe that the answer for best background noise is defaulted to the Bucks because the Packers would never be the background noise
if our team is playing.
Yes.
And
now I would say the same thing about the listening part of it. It's probably a little more satisfying to listen to basketball because there's a constant dribble and a swish here and there, just from the ear standpoint.
Right.
But I am more entertained by the sport of football, so it would be the background noise.
I was going to say for background noise, I'd probably pick the NFL just because it's easier to follow a game checking in every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
An NBA game, you miss something and the crowd goes crazy. The announcer goes nuts because there's a big dunk to make it 32-29. That's great. And I got to watch it. But I was doing something else. NFL, you don't have as many moments. It's not, the action isn't as quick paced.
Let's take a quick break here. On the other side, we'll continue on with a very Wisconsin sports Christmas. Mitch Thunder Nellis, Tommy Wurtzen for 9 to noon today. John Kuhn, Rami Makloff. Hopefully they're enjoying their Christmas celebration. We get that in about an hour and 20 minutes. So we're right there.
Let's make up stories about what they're doing today. Like we should do the right? What do we think Rami and John and Brandon are doing today? And we got a great comment on YouTube as well that we'll get to after the break too.
It's a very Wisconsin sports Christmas, 9 to noon here with Kuhn and Rami, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year.
Michael Bublé, Mitch
I
Nellis
don't
here,
know
Nate.
if there'll be snow.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah. Why
Feels
not? Like during the holiday season?
Yeah,
For sure.
right. I was just gonna say, he kind of feels like Mariah Carey gets all the heat for like the holiday. All I want for Christmas is you. But Michael
So I'm
Bublé, like he
I'm at
cashes
Beignets-
out
yeah,
every Christmas.
He does. There's no doubt he does. So I'm at Beignets and Brew this morning having my coffee, and there was like an acoustic slow version of All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Mm.
And I'm like, and I love acoustic slow versions of songs just in general. Like I'm here for it.
Sure.
But like you're playing Mariah Carey's banger of all time. Like just give me All I
Yeah.
Want for Christmas Is You.
It's just
Like,
why mess up a good thing, right? Let's keep what works. You know,
Tommy, do you ever drink LaCroix?
No. Oh God.
Never.
Oh,
No flavor. Because you drink Liquid Death.
way more flavorful.
So is that just water as opposed to sparkling water? Do you not like sparkling water? Do you not like bubbles?
It's like flavored sparkling water. LaCroix is so it's so just aftertaste to me as opposed to
right. And I'm going to tell you, like the greatest of all time is Pamplemousse.
oh,
Like
yeah.
Pamplemousse, you don't mess with.
I don't mess with
Yeah.
that pump play. Yeah, I
No,
got it.
No, that's right.
It's a very Wisconsin sports Christmas. Tommy Wirtz, Mitch Thunder Nellis here
Let's go.
for a little more than an hour still, as Mitch Nellis is live at 30A on 30A in 30A.
On 30A, I think you say, yeah.
As
Yeah,
I am
like it's,
in
yeah.
the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Just wrapped up some Christmas Day NBA NFL action that's going to get with you guys tomorrow. Best game of the day by far has to be Spurs and Thunder. However, Lions Vikings will interrupt that game for me, as I got to at least turn on the beginning of that game to see if it's worth watching. Mitch Nellis.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, the Lions Vikings game is going to be on all of our radars tomorrow because it changes everything for the Packers, right? Whether they say it, whether they admit it or not. If the Lions somehow lose that game, the Packers clinch and Lions season's over, and Packers can then figure out how they want to approach the Ravens game and then the Vikings game at the end of the year, assuming the Lions win, which they will win. Now the Packers, I don't know if they need to win, but it would behoove them to win Saturday night and take care of their own business and not have to worry about what other teams are doing, which, as we've seen from the Brewers over the past few years, it's much more fun to clinch the playoffs when you win than to back in when somebody else loses. Even if you knew you were going to make the playoffs, it's more satisfying. Like, and I also think there's some mojo with that. Like, you get some positive momentum when you win to make the playoffs, as opposed to you step on the field Saturday night and you've already clinched, when the last time you were on the field, you had the worst heartbreaking loss in the franchise's history in the last 10 years. Like, I like needing a win.
I'm going to claim that if the Lions win and beat the J.J. McCarthy-less Vikings, even more so, this weekend's must win for Green Bay. Especially if the Lions win.
You're on Mason Crosby's train.
I believe that this game is must win right now as of today. I can be convinced that it is not a must win with a Lions loss tomorrow, but I will be super convinced if the Lions win. And I still don't have, Max Brosmer doesn't give any fear for the Green Bay Packers and me as a Green Bay Packer fan. And regardless if he's playing or it's McCarthy, I still feel very confident the Packers win that game. However, I felt very confident the Packers, with 2 minutes and 12 seconds, were going to win the game against the Chicago Bears. And I would love to not leave that in the control of the Packers anymore. And that's probably not a good feeling to have on Christmas of a year you had such high expectations for this team. But quite frankly, I would love to call this game must win if the Lions win. I don't think they need to chase the 2 seed if the Lions lose. I don't think they need to chase it then.
What do you mean by that?
I think you have to go full out.
You go with Stoney Case as your quarterback then?
If Clayton Tune should start if the Lions lose.
That's what I said.
Yeah. I believe so. However, I don't think that that's going to happen either way.
Right.
I think we would know Clayton Tune is going to start by now if Clayton Tune was going to start by now.
You would have an inkling of that. And this fits into what Dennis wrote on our YouTube channel. Remember, we're live on Twitter and on YouTube at WI Sports Radio. It says, wouldn't it be sweet for Packers to win out and Bears lose out? And Dennis, frankly, it would be. I think the Packers can beat the Bears wherever they play.
Yeah.
So that 7-2 matchup doesn't scare me. But I'd rather play Lambeau. And part of me would rather play Lambeau because that means if you win that game, you get another home game as the 2 seed. And so I would say that part I think then feels better.
Okay.
It's less about the Packers Bears game. It's more about, knock on wood, and I know we're looking way ahead, and I'm throwing every jinx out there. But if the Packers were to get the 2 seed and were to beat the Bears, lots of ifs, they then get another home game, and I like that.
Yeah. And otherwise, I mean, look, Mitch, I think the 49ers might just win the West still, even though they're in third. All they have to do is win out.
Right. They're home against the Bears, home against the Seahawks. Done.
I think they're going to do it.
I think they are too.
So do you want to go to Santa Clara for week 2 or play the Seahawks in Lambeau?
I'd rather play the Seahawks in Lambeau for sure. 1,000%. I'd rather play that game in Lambeau. Real quick, by the way, during the break, you asked me the best sports Christmas movie.
Yeah.
It's Rocky IV. And I know it's boxing, but the fact that they fought in Russia on Christmas Day. If you could change, we could change. We all can change.
Yeah, yo, Adrian. Right.
Rocky,
yeah.
Man.
We should.
Rocky IV.
Why did they not get Trevor Thomas to do Rocky IV quotes instead of the Grinch? If you didn't hear that, though, however, Trevor Thomas and the Grinch, the exact same voice in the old school cartoon song, the exact same.
So not Jim Carrey, but like the animated version.
No, there's not a lot. I don't know if the Grinch sings in the Grinch ever. Does he?
I don't know if he does.
No.
No.
I know Where Are You Christmas from the new one.
Mr. Grinch.
But otherwise, I don't think Jim Carrey's ever had to sing in that. So
alrighty then.
Yeah, that's The Mask. I think those are two different movies. You're mixing.
He was green, so I'm colorblind, so I don't know.
Next, we need a Bruce Almighty quote when we come back on the other side. Well, I'll have the dump button ready. We'll be good.
Yes, smart.
One more hour of a very Wisconsin sports Christmas. Then after that, replay of the Mason Crosby show from yesterday. A very fun show with Mason Crosby and Mitch Nellis.
And Tony
Moll, yes, who came on. That's probably most of the reason why I was like, can we just run that whole show back? I mean, it's talking about Christmas. We're talking Packers, Ravens, and Tony Moll. A great interview. So much fun. So hang around with that. That'll be on from 12 to 2 as well. One more hour. A very Wisconsin sports Christmas. Tommy Wirtz, Mitch Thunder Nellis, live till noon today, filling in for 9 to noon on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
From the frozen tundra to your airwaves, it's time for 9 to noon.
It's John Kuhn and touchdown Packers.
The ultimate midday hangout for Packers talk, Wisconsin sports, and everything in between. He's a Super Bowl champion,
Underneath, Kuhn for the touchdown.
a Green Bay legend,
Look at John Kuhn run for the first down and keep it going. Moving the pile all the way to the 6-yard line.
and Lambeau's favorite fullback, John Kuhn. He's bringing the heat, the humor, and just the right amount of chaos. Rami Makloff. Together, they're breaking it all down, debating every angle, and having a little fun while doing it. This is 9 to noon on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Hour number 3 of Very Wisconsin Sports Christmas on 9 to noon. John Kuhn, Rami Makloff, Brandon Snydall out. Little bit of a Mason Crosby show midday with Thunder takeover with Mitch Thunder and Ellis. Tommy Wirtz here with you.
Y'all know me, still the same OG, but I've been low-key. Hated on by most of these with no cheese, no deals, and no G's. No wheels and no keys, no boats, no snowmobiles, and no skis. Mad at me because I can finally afford to provide my family with groceries. Got a crib with a studio and it's full of tracks to add to the wall full of plaques.
Yeah.
There we go.
This is a perfect time because you gave me a heads up and we have caller ID. Andy Dorf coming on here from Dorf on
Let's
Sports.
go.
Jumping in. I hope it's Andy Dorf. It's what it read over there at least, and I didn't clear him at all. But Andy, how we doing today?
I'm just fantastic. I mean, I just got serenaded by a Mitch Nellis freestyle. Are you kidding me, bro?
Nowadays, everybody want to talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move the lips. Just a bunch of gibberish and act like they forgot about Dre.
Yeah. Andy, that's been the last hour of my show here with Mitch Nellis, and I love it. Wouldn't change it for anything else. Very appreciative that he was jumping on here on Christmas Eve. Appreciate you as well. Andy, we were actually just talking in the last segment about the Christmas Day slate of games for the NFL versus the Christmas Day slates for the NBA games. And the NBA has always been it's Christmas. That's their day, right? And then the NFL last year says, screw you, we're taking over Christmas. And then the games they got this year, Andy, could not have been worse luck for the NFL if they want to take over Christmas, in my mind. Your thoughts?
Absolutely agree. When you look at the games that are going to be battled on Christmas, it's somewhat of a joke because Denver should absolutely destroy Kansas City now. And what a story that is, to be honest with you. Patrick Mahomes going down, the Kansas City Chiefs looking very pedestrian all season long, and you know what? They got what they deserve. They're out of the playoffs for the first time in a really freaking long time.
Oh, and send their ass to Kansas, too. Don't forget that.
No, absolutely. And, and then the Cowboys, I don't even know why we talk about the Cowboys because they haven't been relevant since like 1995. And
Thank you.
That might be stretching it, too, to be honest with you. Maybe it's more like 1993, but who cares? Look, at the end of the day, sometimes they get the scheduling right and sometimes they get the scheduling wrong. This time around, they got it wrong. But with that being said, there are a ton of really important games coming on this weekend. So we get the appetizer, I guess, if you will, on Christmas. But the real stuff is coming Saturday and then Sunday, as we all know.
Yeah, and a big one here in Wisconsin, of course, too. The Green Bay Packers taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Some uncertainty with the health maybe at the quarterback position, but I think everyone
Both teams.
Yes, for sure.
I heard one of you guys might get a call and you might get a start this weekend. I don't know if the Packers have a quarterback.
Listen, if you gave someone a multiple choice, which one of these guys has taken a snap in the NFL to a random person, if you put Tommy Wirtz and Chris Oladukin on that list, it's 50-50. It is 50-50 people guessing who it was.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, man, it's crazy because we all know how it works. It's survival of the fittest when it comes to any and all sports these days. When you really think about what happens on and off the basketball floor or the football fields, these guys – any single week, any single day, they could be taken out. And, you know, that just kind of makes me think about Old Man Rivers with what we've been seeing with the Indianapolis Colts, man. Yeah, like how in the world did this guy get that call 5 years after playing? And we all know why. It's because they were completely desperate. They needed to make some kind of a move because they didn't have a quarterback to bring up either. So the next man they could call was Philip Rivers, who knew that system really well. And quite frankly, I've been relatively impressed with the guy. But with that being said, one hit, and I think that guy's in the hospital. So good thing that they're protecting him like crazy because they've done an excellent job of that. But just too much on the plate for the Colts, and bringing Old Man Rivers is just it's a complete move of desperation. I don't care what anybody says. He's looked good. He's done the part. But holy cow, man! 5 years after being done with this game, is this just so that he could show his kids that he could actually play? I don't know what this is all about.
I think it was for the health. I think it was for the health insurance, because
that could be, yeah.
Because the health insurance is real.
It was just about to run out. So you've got an excellent point on that. Excellent point. And with 10 kids, that makes a lot of sense, right?
That is, it does. Andy Dorf on Sports, joining us on this Christmas holiday extravaganza on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Andy, what was your reaction to the Packers' loss to the Bears? And, what's your reaction, I guess, to Bears fans? I actually saw somebody, I've seen multiple people, but even today, like somebody called it their Super Bowl, said it felt like winning the Super Bowl. And I'm just like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's not like winning the Super Bowl, but look, man, I got to be honest with you guys, okay? So I'm in a pick'em league, and people were pretty upset with me last week because, in all honesty, I might shock you here, but I took the Chicago Bears to win that game in Soldier Field. I got told I wasn't a Green Bay Packer fan. I got belittled left and right, crazy, this and that and the other. But let me explain something. At the end of the day, when you're in a pick'em thing, it's not about your heart. It's about picking to win. So ultimately, I felt like it was going to be a close game, which we all knew, and it was a close game. Packers had many opportunities to score, but they squandered those opportunities 3 times in the red zone. I think they came away with 6 points. So you can't have that kind of stuff happen this late in the year. Got to give credit where credit is due, okay? At the end of the day, this Chicago Bears team, much better than we all thought they were going to be. And the progression of Caleb Williams has been absolutely incredible. Give a lot of credit to Ben Johnson. The maturity that I'm seeing from Caleb Williams this year is it's mind-boggling, to be honest with you guys. I'm beyond impressed because I was really hard on the kid, thinking like, hey, this is a guy who's so cocky and arrogant, and he thinks he can come in and be the same guy he was at USC, and it wasn't working so well. But all of a sudden, they have found lightning in a bottle here, guys, and they are a better football team than we think they are, and they proved it by beating the Green Bay Packers. They knock out Jordan Love. Potentially knock out Malik Willis. Like these guys are out there and they're battling. So I give Chicago all the credit in the world. They're coming together much quicker than we thought they would. And unfortunately, I'm going to compare this Green Bay Packer team to the Detroit Lions of last year. Like so much hype, so much thought that they could be a really good, promising football team. But what happened? They got decimated by injuries, right? And that's exactly where we're at with the Green Bay Packers right now, fellas. So whatever happens. They got to win this game on Saturday. And then obviously that can put a lot of things to bed. But the problems are still there. They're very decimated. Not having Micah on that field on the defensive side of the ball, it's going to cost them games. It just is. You can't replace a guy like that. I don't care. Everybody's replaceable, but that's not replaceable what he does for the other guys on the field. So it's going to be a fun, interesting last couple of weeks, and hopefully our Green Bay Packers pull it out and they do make the playoffs.
Andy, I got a couple questions based off of that. I think you broke it down very nicely. The first question I want to ask you is because I brought this claim up on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Through 2 games watching Bears Packers, did you come away more impressed with Caleb Williams or more impressed with Ben Johnson? Because quite frankly, after watching 2 games of it, and he hasn't even been that great, it looks like, but he makes the play. I have deemed Caleb Williams a problem. Like, that guy is going to be a problem. I don't know if it's in the NFL landscape, but he will get up for Packers Bears every single time he plays them from here on out. And I walked away with, man, Ben Johnson, call the game better for Caleb during this. It looks like they had 9 points with 1 minute and 58 seconds left in that game with their offensive wizard head coach, right? And then he's getting a little cute at the end of the game in the first game too, and forces him, a bad throw to throw a pick. But I want to ask you, as someone who's covering the league nationally, and from a little bit of an outsider, walking away from those 2 games, Caleb Williams or Ben Johnson was more impressive in those games?
In game 1, when they lost, that you got to put that throw on Caleb, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, that's a throw that he needs to make. He didn't make it. So I put that loss completely on Caleb. But
okay.
But what I look at the second game, and there's a maturity factor here, guys, and there's also Ben Johnson saying, you know what, I'm not going to put my quarterback in that position. So to be honest with you, I think both of them. I'm equally impressed with both of these guys because, like you said, it seems weird. They have no points on the board, but all of a sudden they put up 12 points in like 6 minutes. So I think it's one of those things where they got to cut Caleb loose, and it's a matter of when do they cut him loose during the game. I'll tell you what, this weekend, if you really look at that game, they play San Francisco. And I got to tell you, man, I think it's advantage Chicago, okay? And there's a reason why. Because first and foremost, they played on Saturday last week against the Green Bay Packers. They're going to play on Sunday against the 49ers. The 49ers are coming off of a short week playing in Indianapolis, and they got banged up in that game, right? So at the end of the day, I'm telling you, this game right here, this weekend, I think this is the game that tells us everything we want and need to know about this Chicago Bears team moving forward. And it'll obviously tell us a lot about the San Francisco 49ers playing banged up and on a short week. But to answer your question the best that I can, I am equally impressed with both of those guys.
Okay.
And the maturity level that we're seeing from Caleb, it's absolutely – it is instrumental from what Ben Johnson has done. He has changed the way that this kid plays out there. It is absolutely miraculous.
And I have a follow-up for you. Andy Dorf on Sports joining us here. How serious are the Bears this year then to you? If those are your claims talking about them against the 49ers and the Packers having a lot of hopes still, but ultimately decimated by injuries, how serious do you feel about the Bears? Because if I was comparing the Packers to the Lions of last year, I feel like the Bears are the Vikings of last year in my mind, but it sounds like you might be a little higher on them, Andy.
I like that comparison too, to be honest with you. I think that's pretty fair. Look, here's the deal. I would say that the Bears have overachieved. Okay. So anything that they can do now is completely icing on the cake. Okay. So I don't know how far they get because ultimately I think there's better teams, and the better teams would be the Rams. That would be Seattle. And then again, I like San Francisco a lot. When you got the weapons that Brock has got to play with out there, it makes them an offensive juggernaut like we saw them against the Indianapolis Colts, who, by the way, have been playing pretty good defense. And the week before, what did they do to Seattle? So, it kind of makes you say, what, maybe San Francisco is a little bit of a sleeping giant, to be honest with you. But my teams that I like in the NFC would be Seattle, San Francisco. I like the Rams. And then on the outside looking in, you've got the teams like the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. I don't trust the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't trust Carolina. But I think it's basically a three-headed team race, and it's all the 3 teams in one division, which is actually pretty crazy. But I think the Packers, the Bears, they're a little bit lower than those other 3 teams. But anything can happen, as we all know.
Andy Dorf joining us here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, the guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. We could do a whole show on the Milwaukee Bucks and on Giannis and on your thoughts there. I know you're a huge basketball guy as well.
Yeah.
But real quickly, Giannis spoke last week and said that like his agent works for him. He doesn't work for his agent. And we talk about like what is his current connection to Milwaukee compared to what it was 5-6 years ago. What do you see in the near future with this Milwaukee Bucks team?
Great question. Look, at the end of the day, if you guys could come up with a trade that makes any kind of sense, I'll listen. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I cannot come up with a trade that makes any sense in my humble opinion.
They should have to sell their team to the city of Milwaukee. They should get tax cuts for the city if you want Giannis to get traded.
Well, I like that.
No,
I'll take it.
the
county.
I agree with you guys. I totally agree with you. That's why, to me, at the end of the day, there's not usually an immovable object, but I personally feel like Giannis is an immovable object. You do not get rid of somebody like him. I don't really care what's going on with the Milwaukee Bucks at this point in time. I think about this man and what he's done for that city and what it means to him. And I think about this guy being such an amazing human being. And to your point, Mitch, we have never heard Giannis say, I want to be traded. And everybody says, oh, he can put this all to bed by saying, I don't want to be traded. You know what? I think he's said that numerous times, to be honest with you. There's one guy that I trust when it comes to Giannis, and that's Chris Haynes, because he's got a pretty good, solid basis with this whole situation. Yep. And Chris and I are completely on the same page. I don't think that Giannis is going anywhere. That is my humble opinion. I've held that opinion for 10 years. I've been right for 10 years, okay? And at the end of the day, again, I'm going to go back to my original point with you guys. Tell me a trade that actually makes some sense, and I'll listen. But I don't think it's out there. I don't know if you heard this, but I just heard a really, really interesting one the other day, which would be that Steph Curry and his agent are now talking about what his future may or may not be in Golden State, and there are talks about potentially him going to Milwaukee. I think that would be absolutely insane, fantastic in a way, because obviously you get a guy that's extremely clutch. You pair him, and it didn't work with Dame, but I'll tell you what, Steph Curry is just too good. It would work with Steph Curry. Yes, it would work with Steph Curry. Have you guys heard anything about that? Is there any traction to that in Milwaukee?
I don't think anyone believes anything that's coming through trade rumors up here, because it just feels like Giannis dominates all the conversation. Right. But now,
I did see that, but we haven't heard anything like from even rumors from the organization or anything. I
don't doubt it from the organization to go out, Andy. Like, we've been hearing the rumors of they want to continue to try to build now around Giannis. And quite frankly, Andy, has any team across the NBA done any more for their superstar over the last 2 or 3 years than the Milwaukee Bucks?
Absolutely not. No, no. And again, I think that's part of this equation, guys, is that Giannis understands. He knows that the Milwaukee Bucks have done everything in their power to make him a happy person. They've brought his whole family in. They've gone out and made trades to just make Giannis satisfied and happy so that they could compete. It had out that way, right? I mean, at the end of the day, they've made a ton of moves that have kind of fallen right in there. But you have to give credit where credit is due. They try, and they really, really try hard to bring players in. So draft-wise, I would say they have failed big time. But as far as the free agency market goes, I think Horst does a great job there. But again, you're taking swings and you're trying things. They're either going to work or they're not going to work. And more often than not, they don't work. It's really hard to make that work. Miles Turner's been a disappointment, right? Like, at this point in time, he's been a big disappointment for the Milwaukee Bucks. But again, I wonder how many games have the Milwaukee Bucks actually been healthy this year where we can see a team.
Not many.
And it's full, exactly.
I think they're like 5-4 or 9-8 with Giannis playing. What was it?
Right.
Like,
but they didn't even have KPJ in those games.
Yeah. Yeah.
in most of
Exactly.
those games.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly. And the games that they have, KPJ, I believe they're 4-1 when he and Giannis play together. So excellent point, guys. I mean, again, it comes down to health. You have to be healthy to have any chance. And I think that that's the biggest problem here. It has nothing to do with the players that they have. It has to do with the health that they have, and it's not good.
All right, Andy Dorf on sports. What do you got? What's the best thing you're going to eat over the next couple days? And why is Die Hard the best Christmas movie?
I love this. Okay, so we've got a great day ahead of us for tomorrow, man. I'm cooking fillets and I'm cooking fish. Okay, so
let's go.
Fillets and fish at the Dorf household here, man, in Phoenix, Arizona. And by the way, if you can actually believe it, it's almost like Christmas here because we've got clouds in the sky. It's a little bit chilly. We've been having like 80+ degree weather, but Christmas is here and the weather has changed a little bit.
Amazing.
So it's a little bit chilly for my liking. And then what did you ask? What was the other question?
Die Hard.
Die Hard. So you know what? How can you go wrong with Die Hard, right? At the end of the day, that when you think about Christmas, that is absolutely, and you could start rapping again right now because I believe that guy in the car, he's like rapping out there in the parking
Argyle
lot.
is listening to Run DMC, no doubt about it. He's listening to their Christmas album. Yep.
And then all of a sudden, some guy comes flying out and hits his car. So yeah, man, you got a freestyle for me on the way out too, or what?
Man, no, I'll let that one go. We'll save that for the next time you come on the show.
Hey, absolutely, man. I'm glad I clicked on and checked you guys out because you guys do a fantastic job there in Milwaukee, and I you know my roots. I love Milwaukee. It's always near and dear to my heart. So anytime I can jump on with you guys, I love to do it. So I appreciate you guys having me on once again.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Andy, Merry Christmas. Have a great couple of days off, hopefully. I know Mitch Nellis echoes that feeling, and I'm sure Sparky up here, who's wrapping gifts away in his office right now. Even on his off days, he comes in to work on his life, apparently, in the building.
Because the kids aren't around, so
Yeah.
it's a great place to do it.
Well, all you guys are great guys, and I appreciate you. Tell Sparky what's up, and have an awesome Christmas and a great New Year, and we'll talk to you guys real soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Andy.
Thanks, Andy. Andy
Have a great day.
Dorf on sports, from a great family tree. I used to play hoops with his brothers, John and Rob. And they I feel like they were always, and Andy will say this, they were always more of a tennis family than a hoops family.
Okay.
But they could hoop. John especially could, John, you don't leave him open from three.
Yeah, I
John
feel
Dorf,
like
you don't not leave him open.
saying from a long line of Dorfs probably doesn't have a great ring,
ring
to it either.
Yeah, that's fair.
But appreciate Andy Dorf for popping on Dorf on Sports. Make sure you go check him out. Does great work covering all sorts of national sports topics and loves Milwaukee. So shout out to Andy Dorf. Let's get it to another break here. It is a very Wisconsin Sports Christmas live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Hey, of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Welcome back. A very Wisconsin sports Christmas. Tommy Wirtz, Mitch Thunder Nellis.
Sir, yes, sir.
Here for 9 to noon. John Kuhn, Rami Makloff, Brandon Snydall off. And this is the last.
What are they doing? What are they doing right now?
John, I believe, also goes to Florida. I was talking to him a little bit yesterday.
Really?
I think that's where his wife is from, based on the conversations we were having. Rami is MIA. I have no idea what Rami's doing.
Rami is like doing snow angels, still celebrating the Bears win that they won the Super Bowl.
Rami lives right down the road from me. Me and Rami are neighbors.
Really? I thought he was further south. No.
So Rami is strongly in Bayview, while I am loosely in Bayview and say Tippecanoe, St. Francis.
Okay.
So we are off the same highway, 794.
Sure.
And I am one exit after Rami.
After him. You're one. Yeah. Well, you're one exit further south.
South. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. But other than that, like me and Rami are basically neighbors. We live closer together, I think, than probably any other two pair of people do. I don't know. Like maybe you and Jason technically.
No,
could be.
not anymore.
No,
because
that's right.
He moved like a village away.
Yeah.
Boo. JB. Boo.
All of which are
and Snide. Is Snide just like
he's in Caledonia? I want to say.
Is he wrapping presents right now?
Are you kidding me? Like he's probably had to start rapping 4 weeks ago. Like
right. he's got more kids than Phil Rivers.
72
That's
kids. Yeah,
doesn't he also have 5? He and Mason both have 5.
Him and Mason both have 5.
Who wins in a fight? Snide's kids or Crosby's kids? Like a 5-on-5.
I think Nolan's the
a Survivor Series style match where like when you get pinned, you're eliminated, and then it's 5-on-4, and it goes from there.
I think Snide has more boys. I don't know if that means anything, but
it could. It doesn't necessarily.
And I think Snide, I'm pretty sure he has a 15-year-old. I know Mason has a 15-year-old.
That is correct.
But
as does Thunder. Thunder also has a 15-year-old.
Wow.
But
All you guys getting busy at that same time. Good for you guys.
So, yeah. Literally, we synced our things.
Yeah.
What are you drinking there, bro?
I have some black coffee. Sparky was nice enough to bring in some coffee.
Love you, Spark.
Spark's the best. He's still hanging out, doing some of his Christmas present wrapping. It must be nice. You know, I remember him basically telling me, like, you'll never be homeless. You always have this couch over here. Like,
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
And
Tommy.
Sparky saying, like, you know, he's not homeless, and he's still just coming here to wrap the presents so he can stay away from the kids, and they don't have to worry about anything. Do you have good hiding spots? I won't make you give them away on the air, but you have hiding spots in the house?
So in this house, I have great hiding spots.
Okay.
Yeah. In our home base in the Bay, I don't really. Although I have a basement office, so it's kind of a built-in. Like it's only me.
That's Dad's area, right?
Right.
Yeah,
but in this house, the way the layout is how it's almost like two separate houses on top of each other. There are some good hiding spots. Real quick, Tommy, I don't know if you're into we get a weekly email from the Packers about like all the alumni who are coming in town. Do you ever look at that?
I have. I didn't look at this one. No.
I wanted to throw out to you. I don't know if this is interesting or not. The featured alumni this week are Geronimo Allison and Jaron Elliott.
Mm-hmm.
Did Jaron Elliott like really do enough to
I remember
a featured alum?
Like 100% forgot the name, but remember it now that you said it out loud.
Like
Geronimo.
I thought he'd be Geronimo, I remember.
Yeah,
right.
Of course.
Geronimo wide receiver, like and Geronimo. I actually did an event at a Robert Hack Diamonds with Geronimo where I got like a one-on-one with him, and it was great. The other additional Packers alumni, Tom Crabtree and Johnny Jolly. I got to be a little honest. I'm a little surprised Johnny Jolly's invited back after the purple drink.
Yeah, and he had a couple other issues go around too, but was impactful when he was on the field for sure. And
didn't Crabtree when he went to the Buccaneers, didn't he talk some smack?
No, I think Crabtree still even has like the Packers as his profile picture on Twitter. Okay. And he also, I feel like I remember him scoring on a trick play that was really awesome that people
Well,
kind of
Crabtree
remember.
was a Packer. Like people loved him.
And
But
Aaron
then-
was boys with Aaron too during that
exactly,
time
yeah.
as well. I thought Crosby was gonna be on that list too when he brought it up, right? Didn't he bring up this game to us a few months ago that he was thinking about it?
I think he was thinking about it. I don't, he's not on this email at all.
He was not.
so
I don't think he's
know.
going anymore, but he was invited during this week. Maybe
I think it was under
feature.
consideration that they were, but I'm guessing too much family. Like this one's tough with Christmas when you got a family and stuff like that. Like if you're a single guy or you're or you have a different situation, it's easy to come in. But I think if you have a big family, like this is a tough one to make it in for.
Is it weird that he hasn't been to a game?
Yeah, I think it is.
Right.
But we also know the Packers are weird, right? As an organization, the Packers treat their alumni kind of weird.
Well,
they're welcoming, but they're not welcoming. They want to do stuff, but they don't want you to have the spotlight.
It was also the worst PR miss ever to be like, let's have this celebration of this 2010 Super Bowl team. And the quarterback is still playing in the NFL.
Right.
Like
That was so bizarre.
you can't not bring Aaron Rodgers to the celebration of that team. He won the MVP of that game. He is the reason the Packers were playing in that game. And while everyone would love to see Tausch and Clifton and Crosby, like Aaron is the sell to go celebrate the 2010 team.
Yes,
and
no
quite
doubt.
frankly, I can't believe they did that. Like it just was a huge miss on what I
So
thought.
that was a huge miss. I think one of the other things, and we could talk about this with Mason too. It's like I think there's some egg on the face from the organization for letting him go a year or two early. Like I think based on how poorly the kicking game went after they parted ways with Mason, and then we're so like staunchly like, no, we're sticking with Carlson or we're sticking with whoever. Like, and then the fact that he had to go to the Giants and the Rams. Like, I think there's a little egg on Goody's face that like they are trying to save their pride by not embracing Mason too much.
Well, and he also, I mean, he will never say a bad thing about that organization. So just to clarify, Mason's a huge Packer guy, will be forever. And is forever in debt to them, if you ask him, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, he 100% feels that. But I do think that it is weird that he hasn't gone up for a game yet since as a fan. And again, he's got a busy life, busy schedule.
He was at the draft.
He was at the draft. Awesome event, of course, too.
Yep.
But I just thought it was weird when he was like, oh, I'm thinking about going to this game, and I haven't been to a game as a fan yet. I'm like, whoa.
Right.
I mean, you would think that, like, why not? They're going to treat your whole family well. They're going to do a great thing. You're going to be able to sit at the same table that Mike Spofford and everyone does a pregame show at, because it's a bar table out of a suite.
It's the best table there is.
But I always just thought that was a little weird when talking about that with
speaking of
Crosby.
weird, Q writes in on YouTube, Happy Hanukkah Thunder, Happy Kwanzaa Tommy.
Yeah.
So,
I look, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah. Whatever
To
someone
everybody, why
says, whatever someone says to you, just say it back. All right.
I agree.
It's
I agree.
the season of being nice. It is weird that there's no snow on the ground. There's a little bit, at least in the background.
I
I'm
was gonna
wearing
say, is it
shorts.
all gone?
I'm wearing shorts on Christmas right now.
That is weird.
That's weird.
Jeremy from Racine writes in 414-677-1250 on the text line. And I know most people have different schedules today, so if you're listening, we appreciate you. If the Pack wins out and the Bears lose out, the Packers he says most likely get the 3 seed, because the Eagles most likely would get the 2nd seed unless the Eagles lose one more game. I think I had erroneously said in the first hour, if the Packers win out and the Bears lose out, the Packers will get the 2 seed. They won't, but the Eagles do play at the Bills this week.
Yeah.
So I think there's, the Bills are favored by 1.5, so it's a coin toss game. But I do think there's a good chance that Philly does get that 6th loss, and that would vault the Packers ahead of the Eagles if that were to happen.
Yeah, and I would say that I'm rooting for the Bills in that game, but it's just Josh Allen just might be one of the most fun players to watch in the entire league. I seriously, just every time you turn the TV on and it's Josh Allen on TV, you got to sit and watch for a little bit. I'm most likely, is that strong? Like, are you feeling good about the Eagles for this one, Jeremy? Because quite frankly, I would love round 2 with the Eagles if I'm the Packer, even with this team right now. I seriously feel that. And I think that this Philly team is going to make the playoffs comfortably, and they're already in, and they're going to be...
They'll be the 2 or the 3.
are we not so sure that every team in the NFC West is better than the Philadelphia Eagles?
No. Well, first of all, they definitely are. All three teams in the West are better than the Eagles. What I would say about the Eagles is kind of what I say about the Seahawks. I don't want to go there. Like, that's why I want the Packers to get that 2 and that 3. I just think for the Packers, weird things happen in Philly. And I know the Packers had a huge playoff win in Philly, but I also know 4th and 26 happened. I also know last year happened. I don't want to go to Seattle, and I don't want to go to Philly. I'm totally comfortable with either of those teams coming to Lambeau. That's why, listen, Packers win out, Bears lose out, Philly loses to Buffalo, get that 2 seed, and just go from there.
What is the ceiling difference for you then if the Packers are the 2 seed versus the 7 seed?
If the Packers are the 2 seed ceiling, I mean, I think they can win. I think they could win the Super Bowl.
Really?
I wouldn't expect it because I think they win the 2-7 game. I think they can win that 2-3 game. They probably will lose the NFC Championship game. Like that would be my expectation at that point. I'd be disappointed if they lost a game at Lambeau. I wouldn't be disappointed if they lost at San Francisco or in that NFC Championship game. But could they win that NFC Championship game? Yeah, they could win it. And then if you get to the Super Bowl, anything can happen. Would I expect it to happen? No. Would I put them at less than a 50% chance to win the NFC Championship and then less than a 50% chance to win the Super Bowl? I probably would, but nobody from the AFC really scares me. Like if they play the Patriots or the Broncos in the Super Bowl, they can win that game. Are the Patriots or Broncos making this? Is Jacksonville? Is it just going to be Buffalo? Could it be their year, like kind of under the radar for a lot of it? All of a sudden blow up in the playoffs because there's the only team of those teams with playoff experience. So ceiling is like if they get the 2 seed, that nobody really impresses me. If they get the 7 seed and they go to Chicago, I think they win that game, but I think then they lose the next game. They lose in the divisional round.
Gun to your head, the Super Bowl this year is blank versus blank. Mitch Nellis.
I'm gonna go Bills Niners.
Really?
Bills Niners.
Okay.
Like the Niners are getting healthy at the right time. And I think the Bills are that only team in the AFC with playoff experience. I think, Drake May and Bo Nix and Trevor Lawrence, like all are good and have played better. And listen, if the Jags are for real, like what they've done the past 2 weeks has been phenomenal. If they keep that going, like maybe they could make a run. But I just think like I would take Bills and Niners in the Super Bowl right now. What about you?
If the Chiefs had Mahomes and were the 7 seed, would you still say the Chiefs?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
I might still take the Bills, but I'd have to think about that. But it would be between the Bills and the Chiefs.
I still think the Rams are the best team if they're healthy too. And if Devontae Adams is on the field, I think the Rams are the best team. I really do. I think
the Niners want the Rams to come to Santa Clara so badly. Like I think they want that. I think they want to just hit them in the mouth. I think they want to run them into the ground. And I think the Niners can do that if that game's in Santa Clara. And then, of course, Super Bowl also in Santa Clara. So the Niners will be playing at home.
I would say that if I had to choose, I would go Rams Broncos. I think that's if I have to choose.
Broncos. Okay.
Is that a rematch? No, right? I don't think that happened recently with any of that. But
Rams Broncos. No,
it felt like it for a minute there.
Rams Bengals.
Rams Bengals. Maybe that's what the orange is throwing me off.
Yeah. Jeremy and Racine, by the way, chimes back in and he says, no, he's not that confident in the Eagles.
Yeah.
He's right. LOL. Like, yeah, nah. He's just saying. He was just clarifying because which we appreciate. Like, we want to be factually accurate here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
But I also agree with you, Mitch, that, again, if it's a quarterback game in the postseason and Josh Allen's only kryptonite has been the Chiefs.
Right.
Like,
that's it.
I do love it. I do love the Bills to make a run. I think I'd be rooting for them along the way, too.
If the Patriots had figured out a way to duplicate the second half when they were up 21-0 on the Bills 2 weeks ago, I think they could have buried the Bills. I think the Bills winning that game, rejuvenated them, and I think the Bills are ready to make a run.
How stupid is this comment? Okay, because I like to ask you because you're as direct.
There's no stupid comments, just stupid people who make them.
The winner of Jags Bills represents the AFC in the Super Bowl.
I mean, it's stupid, but it could happen.
I mean, right. I hate it, but I don't really necessarily I don't hate the take all the way. No. I want to hate it more than I do.
Yeah. I mean, Listen, the Broncos, the Patriots. I don't think the Chargers are doing anything, but it's hard for me to pick against the Bills right now.
For my personal take, I should be rooting for Trevor Lawrence to go as far as possible.
You should be.
That would be,
dude. And Mrs. Thunder's family would go nuts. My nephews would lose their brains.
Mitch, imagine if we have Jaguars Chargers AFC Championship game. Just imagine the storylines on the Mason Crosby show.
Except the Jaguars will win by 40. So
okay,
they would absolutely destroy the Chargers back in Jacksonville. Yes,
I would love it. I would love it. We got one more segment here. We're gonna wish everyone a very Merry Christmas.
Die Hard, everybody.
And yeah, well, maybe I'll say my favorite Christmas movie on the other side. It is a very Wisconsin sports Christmas in for 9 to noon. Mitch Nellis, Tommy Words here live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. What a way to close out with some Wham, right?
Oh, yeah. George Michael, baby.
It is a very Wisconsin sports Christmas on 9 to noon. In for John Kuhn, Rami Makloff, Brandon Snide. It is Tommy Wirtz and Mitch Thunder Nellis.
TNT, baby. Tommy and Thunder.
Thanks again, Mitch, for coming on for the last couple of hours
My pleasure.
here.
Always my pleasure, Tommy. You send out the thunder signal, and you know I'm answering.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is a text message. Like, would you have a cloud or what in the sky?
Like a lightning, like
Well, that would be asking for lightning, not thunder.
I know, but there, we work with what we have. We only have what we have. So last night I showed we watched Die Hard as a family. Me and Mrs. Thunder had never seen it from start to finish. She'd seen parts of it.
Yeah.
But she never sat down and watched it. So I sat down and watched it with the kids. And there were definitely a couple parts where Little Rumble had to like get up and like pace around because like it was like the bad guys were closing in, like Hans Gruber was doing something, or Carl was doing something, or like the good guys were being, or the cops were being stupid, and she was like yelling at the TV. It was a different experience. Like, but everybody liked it. Everybody enjoyed it. Everybody 2 thumbs up. And there's a lot of Christmas in Die Hard. It's a Christmas movie. Deal with it. Suck it up for people who don't think it is. Shut up.
Polar Express doesn't get enough love.
Oh, Polar Express is one of the all-timers.
I feel like
it's wonderful.
I don't hear it enough.
Cry?
I
cry?
Oh, dude, the first time, yeah.
Yeah.
You're like,
Right,
whoa,
good.
this movie. I mean, so heavy for children.
Yes.
But I am all in on Polar Express. I don't watch I haven't watched a single Christmas movie this year. I again, like me alone at my house with my roommate watching Polar Express. We haven't gotten to that point yet.
Right.
We're not there.
You know what we might be watching tonight? Not a Christmas movie? Titanic.
Oh, interesting.
Just because the kids have never seen Titanic. So we're like, why not?
You got to show them. I've recommended a couple already. Like Liar Liar is the number one.
It's great. I know you love that one.
I'm gonna say it's my favorite. One of my favorite movies of all time. It's in the top 5 for sure.
Speaking of Jim Carrey, by the way,
Grinch also great.
Yeah,
Grinch used to almost like scare me when I was a kid.
As it should have. That was the point.
But in like I want to be scared of this type of way. Almost not like the regular horror movies thought, but
we don't do Elf on a Shelf. But if I ever would, I would have done Grinch on a Shelf and just been like, yeah, Grinch is watching you, not the Elf, the Grinch.
Elf, most overrated Christmas movie. I said it.
Yeah, you said that last week.
I said it. I know.
I like Elf.
I like it. The fact that it's like an instant classic is crazy to me.
You know what I loved was J.K. Simmons and The Rock, the Big Red. That was a couple years ago. I feel like just recent. Not great, but fun. Like it was like I think Santa gets kidnapped or something. I don't know. It was great. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Watch your favorite Christmas movies tonight, tomorrow. Yep. Everyone have a very safe, merry, happy Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you're celebrating during the holiday season. We'll be back before the new year, so I won't wish you a happy new year.
No.
But this is the last live show now. Mitch Thunder Nellis, thank you so much again. Appreciate it. Go Pack Go. We'll be live after the game. Me and Sparky, Green Bay football post-game show. Merry Christmas from all of us here at the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network with the studios powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.